So
Indeed, we
welcome to
are.
this Hygge Gaming cast. What's the date today? I don't even know. Who cares? We are here because it's the Commanders in Conflict tournament, and this is the special Hygge leg of this tournament, our very own finals. And so, to give some context, first we should present ourselves. Anything else would be rude. I
Yeah.
am PT, and with me here in the studio I have Victor.
Hello, hello.
And also Don, who will be the technology wizard for today.
Yeah, even called the real Boppus in this kind of stuff.
Oh, yes, sorry. Didn't mean to dox you this early in the stream.
People will find me.
Yeah. So, anyways, what we are casting today is something a bit special. It's something we haven't really done before in the community. This is a one-on-one tournament using the special Commanders mod for Hearts of Iron 4. And yeah, like I said, it's a one-on-one mod. So it's Axis versus Allies as usual. You have 20 different factions to choose from, paths to go down, and there are a bunch of different maps from the world map, but you play in a limited area. Each game is usually around an hour. So today we have our two semifinals, best of threes, and then we will end with the grand final for the Hygge community. But the winner from our grand final will go on to fight the winners from the other communities' finals. There are a bunch of other Hearts of Iron communities doing their own tournaments as we speak, and they will all be broadcasted between Thursday and Saturday. So from the 7th until the 9th, you can see the grand finals. But this is, like I said, the Hygge version of that.
Yes.
And yeah, Victor, maybe you could present the players.
Yes, indeed I can. In my game here, which has started but it's yet paused, we have Ivan or Stationary playing as the Axis, and we have Mako, the Master Co-op, still left since the last grand game, I imagine, playing the Allied Nations. And as we said before, they have a number of different factions to choose from in their focus tree, with the first focus. And you can also ban one faction, I think, and there is also like the one that picks the faction gets like, yeah, the one that doesn't pick a faction gets to pick the map or something to that regard. So Ivan versus Mako in my game, and in the one that's casted by PT, we have Sticky versus Pontus. And Ivan has won his group so far, and I don't know how the history looks on your side. Mako has also won both his games, so we have two top players in my game that have gone undefeated as of yet.
From what I'm hearing, Ivan actually won his two games on walkover. So both August and Simon, when he was supposed to play, they didn't show up. So Ivan is yet untested.
That's one way to win.
Yeah,
undefeated
but he is
untested.
Yeah, but he is though an experienced player, and just yesterday he played Germany, main controller of Germany, as at one of our grand games, and he did a great job at it. So we can expect good things from Ivan, I think. In Group 2, Francis won a game against Algot, but then Pontus, he won against both. And in Group 1, Mako's group, Mako won both his games, and Ugis won against Adam. So that's a short, brief history of the group plays. These games haven't been casted, of course, so we haven't seen them. But yeah, that's how they got to where they are.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So
and I just want to fill in, because we're actually playing for something today. It's not just a fame and glory. So we have a prize pool here. So the group winner, even if you only would have won from walkover in our community, you will have gained 250 euros. But we're also playing for the grand prize of 5,000 euros. So this is huge money in a Hearts of Iron 4 tournament.
Indeed, that's a considerable prize pool, even the small one, but 5,000 euros. If the Hygge HOI community were to bring that home, that would be a good achievement for us, I would say.
A lot of beer, I thought you would say.
Indeed.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of a Hearts of Iron tournament with a prize pool this big, actually. But then again, I haven't really checked around that much either.
No.
Yeah. So maybe we should tell the players that they can start at their leisure.
Yeah, indeed. If you write to them, and if we could get my game up on the main screen, which is the one that has started, we can see here that the players. Let's see. I'm getting some critique for my sound here. I don't know, but I'll see if I can rectify that, but probably not. I would imagine. Let's see. Microphone on headset.
So it seems like they've chosen the Normandy map.
Yes, indeed they have. I'm going to check out the sound maybe a little bit later. They have chosen the Normandy map, indeed, and we have both factions starting out with the industrialization. If you see here, a very big focus tree in regards to the different factions here, but you have the industry focuses here on the right side, and they are increasing. So you get 2 civilian factories here, then you get 3, then you get 4, and yeah, so I would imagine that you try to go for this somewhat early so that you can start churning out those divisions as early as possible. And the different factions, of course, have different perks. We have the United States with the arsenal of democracy, with a lot of production speed and so on. And we have the Chinese United Front, which gives a lot of manpower. And we will see which way these players choose to play it.
And as I understand it, there's a period of time where they cannot attack in the beginning. So there's a build-up phase, a time of peace, and then the war breaks out. So sort of like playing normal Hearts of Iron 4, just condensed in a much smaller version.
Indeed. And we can see here that the speed is now set to 4, so they are readying up to start here. And we have the League of Neutrality in the middle here, and we have the starting divisions of 11 infantry divisions and 1 cavalry. Not anything to write home about these templates, and I will imagine that they're going to rectify this quite soon. We see the factories on infantry equipment and trucks coming out here from Ivan. Meanwhile, on the Allied side, we have the production of infantry divisions starting out. A lot of infantry divisions being produced by Mako here, and we have infantry equipment, but also towed artillery trains and some convoys. The naval game is not going to be that big on this map. I would imagine on Pete's side, where we have the North African map, we will see the Navy come more into play. But I am a noob at casting this mod, so it remains to be seen.
Yeah, aren't we all? We've never personally played the mod, and maybe you've seen 1 or 2 games in the past, but let's not let anyone know.
Yeah, indeed. And we see here that the intelligence agency has been created here by Mako, and the first industry focus has been finished. The intelligence agency is going to be very important because, as we have seen in the grand games, for example, you remove your opponent's entrenchment bonuses, you remove planning bonuses, and that can really come into play, especially on this map, I imagine, when you will have a lot of fighting going on along the Rhine, and the breakthrough across that river is going to be one of the game deciding factors from what I have learned in my travels with this mod. Meanwhile, we have Ivan not yet created his intelligence agency, but that means that he can put his civilian factories towards constructing military factories, which he is doing at this point. And he is also expanding his arms industry at the moment, so he is going down the military factory path of the industrialization. You also get 3 times 100% research bonus from the first focus, which is really nice to get early, so you can start out with researching your industry and your machine tools. For example, we see here only 23 days left on that one, and also early infantry equipment 2 coming out from Ivan here on the axis.
Interesting.
And looking over at the allies, we see quite a broad front here. It will be interesting to see this.
Yeah,
how are they doing?
It'll be interesting to see how he utilizes that spy agency. I haven't really heard of anyone using a spy agency in these games, but of course, You were talking about different mechanics that could be helpful. I was also thinking about the collaboration government, because a few of these games have been decided via paratroopers, where you just drop the other person's victory points and game over. And if you manage to get some collaboration governments in, then the surrender limit is lower and you need to get fewer victory points. So maybe that could be a thing.
Yeah, we will see how that pans out.
Yeah. If we look at the other games, Sticky versus Pontus, they still haven't unpaused the clock, but already we can see some things taking shape here. Sticky is on the Axis side, and unlike the other game, they have not gone for an economic focus. Neither of them have. Instead, they seem to be doing it a bit historically. We have the Americans fighting the Italians down here. Maybe not completely historically, I'm not sure. Anyways, they are not going for the economic focuses straight away. Having a look at the production here, we see Sticky making transport planes, so probably we will see some paratroopers from Sticky. Let's see what Pontus is building. A bunch more stuff here. Seems like he's going for also paratroopers. He also has a transport plane being built. They seem to be counting on that the other side is not building fighters, because in the land of 0 fighters, the man with 1 fighter is king.
Indeed. We still have my game up here on the main screen. I see now. So if you're wondering why I'm looking
the technician is caught in the chat, so sorry for that.
Shit. I was just assuming you would jump right along.
Yeah, sorry.
No worries. We can see Sticky. He is setting his army up a bit centrally, so not focusing on the border, but rather holding his victory points and so on. This is, of course, as Victor was saying before, a map where we might see some navy coming in a bit. Let's have a look at the construction queue. Nothing naval going on so far. We do see Sticky building some dockyards in a bit, but this is very slow. Yeah, he's only got two civs being used right now because he is building a spy agency. So Sticky and Pontus also building a spy agency. So both of them are going for spies. Interesting.
Meanwhile, up in Europe, we do have a bit of an expansion of the original infantry divisions, and we have actually an intelligence agency coming out from the Axis as well under Ivan, and we have Mako gone for the first focus here, which is going to be the Red Army. So he's going for here experience gain, army leader cost, and then for the 5th Guards tank army. So this is going to be a tank focused Mako. And we've seen Mako with tanks before, so this has the potential of being dangerous. As of yet, he has not constructed any divisions to that regard and is still churning out infantry, but we see the production here actually going towards basic medium tank chassis. So we are going to see a tank-focused Mako
but in this game. Doesn't he have quite a lot of infantry out already? How come?
I'm unsure actually. Both of the players have trained a very large amount of infantry. We do have a lot of infantry divisions coming out here from Ivan as well. They have not been deployed yet, but they are fully trained. And he has more of a concentrated front line towards Amsterdam and Köln. Meanwhile, we have Mako just placing up a broad front. So it will be very interesting to see once. We see here that Ivan has gone for the Royal Italian Army and then the First Army. So he is going towards Aces of the Sands here, Ace Generation chance, tankettes maybe later, some a bit less tank focused, but still towards a mobile playstyle, I would say.
Our games look very different because it looks like your players have a bunch of stuff in their stockpile, so they're able to actually get troops out. While in this game they aren't. Pontus does have 5 divisions out, but you can see here they're not really organized yet. There are only 6 battalions in each. While Sticky, he hasn't even got an army at the moment, and despite that, is negative in the stockpile. So I'm not really. Oh, look at this. We do have an army. Same here. But only 6 divisions. You guys seem to have more divisions in the other game.
Yeah, I mean, I have quite a lot of divisions coming out here, and we have heard some people in the chat here saying, please no paradrops, and I think they will actually, they have heard their prayers in the north of Europe. I have not seen any construction of big paradrops, and I would imagine that the supply comes into play here, because if you pick the North Africa map, you will have more of a supply issue, you know, the regular El Alamein desert problems, you know. Meanwhile, you will have an easier time supplying a larger army around Normandy, which we can see by both factions going for this kind of mobile, a bit more tank-focused builds. We see, though, that we have a lot of air focuses coming out from Ivan here, both Aces of the Sands and now Aeronautica Machi, which will grant a production cost reduction for fighters and add 40% research speed to all air research. So we will see some air stuff coming out from the Axis here, I would imagine.
Likewise, in North Africa, both of our players are going for air technologies as well. Not the focuses yet; they are still on the beginning focus. But right here, we see a couple of air techs, and having a look at Pontus here on the allies, we can see the same techs. So they're very similar so far. Our 2 players here in North Africa, they're almost mirrored. You can see here the improved anti-tank, and both of them, of course, are going for the transport planes, as I was saying before. So we'll see some infantry, some transport planes, and some other types of planes.
Then we have a question from Cykelfraktur in the chat here. Is the match on the same map, or is the players on different servers? They are on different servers, and we will be doing this parallel, because otherwise it will take all night. But once we reach the final, we will be casting just one game. So if you feel that we're flip-flopping a lot, that will be rectified later on. And we also have a question if we are excited for Götterdämmerung. And I'm quite excited. The expansions have a tendency to shift up the meta in our community quite a lot.
Yeah, I would say Götterdämmerung, it seems like a classical single-player patch with very unbalanced super weapons and so on. So it will be interesting to see how it plays out in the multiplayer context.
Oh. And my divisions here, or the divisions of the players in Europe, are still looking about the same. We see support anti-tank being put into the divisions of Ivan here, and perhaps that's why he built the intelligence agency, because he has a spy network now of 54 on Mako, and if he sees that he's going tank focused, then he will obviously put in some anti-tank into his divisions, and I do believe that this is the correct decision. If you look at what we have coming out here from Mako, he has created tank divisions here, and these are quite big ones, medium tanks. We do see a declaration of war coming out here in the game. From the Allies have declared war on the League of Neutrality, started to move up towards the Rhine here, taken over the airfield, the Wallonian airfields, and also the airfield outside of Köln is going to fall without any fight here. And this might be a good play, because Mako has really seized the initiative here, taken the Rhine without a fight, because otherwise I would imagine that this is where the armies will meet. But looking at the Axis side here,
he has left. He has left the start, so he's meeting up.
This is going to be interesting.
They are indeed meeting up, and I think we have some supply issues on the front here, but Frankfurt has already been taken by the Allies, because the tanks are significantly faster than the infantry here. So
here we see the first battle. How do they measure up against each other?
Mako is looking to win this, even though it is crossing a river, because he has his 2 medium tanks out here. Meanwhile, Ivan is only defending with infantry. It's straight green bubbles here for Mako, and he is taking an early command of the front line, I would say. And he is continuously going down this tank focuses here. 2nd Tank Corps, Stalingrad tractor plant. So he is doing a lot of production efficiency things. things on the tank side, and also doing a lot to make those tanks stronger. So he has a very good game plan here. As we saw in the chat here, stop exercising, Ivan Knistan is writing, and indeed he should, and indeed he has, but it might already have hurt him quite a bit. Looking at his focuses, he has only gone down the air focuses, also a bit of light tank divisions here and some support equipment, infantry equipment, but those light tanks are not going to stack up well against the medium tanks of Mako. The air game is, of course, in the hands of Ivan, considering his air focuses. If he hadn't won the air game, then he would be in big trouble. Perhaps he will be able to turn this around now, but we might see an encirclement here. Indeed, we do. We have the first division of Ivan falling to the Mako push across this river here. It's still the Ren, I think.
And that leaves Ivan's flank open, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is kind of open here. I mean, Mako can really snake here. We might see an early finish of this game if Mako manages to get in here. He has already taken Leipzig. He's moving towards Dresden. Now we can see, though, that this infantry division of Mako's might have bitten off more than they can chew off.
He's in trouble.
Yeah, and that's going to be a division for a division. And this tank is snaking towards the victory points, but he got encircled here, and you don't want to lose your medium tanks if that is your play here. But he has counter-encircled 2 of Ivan's divisions in Leeuwarden, and we do see a big pocket potentially closing here.
Wow,
has war broken out in
the game?
Yeah, indeed. Action from the start here. We see the division in Dresden being picked off and the tank also falling. So. But these 2 divisions, it's not something Ivan would like to lose here. This is steadily going in the hands of Mako at this point. And also the Hygge HOI community, of course, is quite unexperienced with this mod. So if some meta people are watching this, they might be shaking their heads now. But we have Onel saying, tell Ivan to use generals. And yes, indeed, Ivan doesn't have any generals on his army. I think he was caught by surprise. Mako's fast advance from the French front has really caught Mako Ivan off guard here with no generals out. And if he doesn't pick up any generals, I think this will be over in a short manner of time. We see Shukov here leading the tank charge into Germany. And meanwhile,
generals make a huge difference.
Indeed, they do. And we still have peace in North Africa, Peter?
Yes, we do. If we just look here quickly, you can see that they are playing on speed 3 and not speed 4. So we are about 6 months behind you guys in the other war. But just having a quick look here, you can see that Sticky has started to plan naval invasions on the neutral territories, while Pontus, on the other hand, is going for a land-based plan, but he's only got one little horsey that's going to execute. So he's got a pretty defensive stance. They're both going for navy. Pontus's navy looks bigger from the look of it compared to Sticky's. Let's see, there we go. And here's the Sticky's navy. So about equal, I would say. So we're going to see a naval battle here eventually. Let's go back to your game.
We are seeing events unfolding here. We have Mako actually losing 3 infantry divisions in Germany, and the front have stabilized across the Ren. We do have a foothold for Mako. He has taken Hanover, and if he takes some critical airfields, he might be able to still eke out the victory quite early here. But it has stalled a bit. Ivan has stabilized somewhat, still heavily in favor of Mako, though. Still no generals on Ivan, for example. And we see another encirclement here around Emden and Wilhelmshaven, another airfield falling as well. And I mean, this is trouble for Ivan because he has focused quite heavily in the air game. And if he cannot utilize the airfields, then he can't really leverage that. And he seems quite stressed out here. No generals and no focus active at this time either. He is just panicking, trying to stabilize this front. Meanwhile, we have Mako just just continuously putting out this Ring of Steel, Steel Mountains. The tanks are only getting stronger. School of Advanced Warfare is done, so he will be able to give adaptable to one of his generals as well. And I'm calling stuff early, but I am ready to call this first game for Mako, because here we see an encirclement of 10 divisions and some cavalry, so that's 12 divisions falling, and that's it. Across the Rain has been won. The first map, the first semifinal, the first game in the first semifinal has been won by Mako. So that's one game up for Mako. And we're doing best of 3, so Ivan will have a chance to rectify this, but a convincing victory for Mako in this first game.
Yeah, let's see how he adapts and changes his playstyle for the next game. He knows what Mako is able to do now, so maybe he'll switch it up for the next game. He will definitely be more ready at the war start, I think.
Yeah, indeed. Let's go over to your game, Petey, then.
Yeah, down in the Med, the war has still not started. Sticky is building mostly these small starting divisions, 10 widths. But he's also doing a few, well, at least this is his long-term plan, it looks like, heavy 40 width divisions with all the artillery and so on. Pontus, on the other hand, has not really pushed out a lot of divisions. He's doing a bit of cavalry, actually. So he's going for the 10 width and cavalry. But these are just 2 widths. So these will probably just be for snaking, taking empty territory here in the beginning. Having a look at the navies now again. So we got 1 battleship, 3 heavy cruisers, and a good amount of destroyers. On Sticky side, 1 battleship, 3 cruisers, and a bunch of destroyers. So very even navies. It'll be interesting to see how that pans out. Still no war on. Not really sure when it starts. Is it a focus, or when does the war start?
Yeah, I'm not sure actually. To be honest, it started so fast in my game, but it might have been different speeds as well. I'm not entirely sure.
It's a decision. Here we see it. Countdown to war. So the war will start in 134 days. I guess, beginning of 1941 is the idea there. I think we'll ask these guys to play on speed 4 in the build-up phase for the next game as well. So Sticky also a bit fond of the old cavalry. You can see here he has researched paratroopers, and he is building transport planes. So we will see some paratroopers later on. Here we see now these are fighters and CAS. So that's really good to have if you want to go for paratroopers. You need to get that air superiority going. Pontus though also building fighters. No CAS from Pontus, it seems like. I think a lot will come down to this naval game. Whoever wins the first battle, I guess, should be in a good position.
It's interesting. I see the Axis have a bit of a closer proximity to Malta if they are able to execute it correctly. If they go to Tripoli and they can jump, because you will get some supply issues, I would imagine. It's quite a lot longer to go in the North Africa map than it is in Normandy.
Yeah, I'm having a look at Pontus POV again. Yeah, no naval invasions planned from Pontus, but I imagine he will have by the time the war starts. Since he's building a navy, he must be wanting to use it for something. And not too much heavy equipment on the front right now. He's building some trucks. He's got some trucks in his stockpile. Nothing too exciting here going on. As we said before, both are playing very similar build. Sticky's up now to improved artillery, improved anti-tank, but he's got most of his equipment or factories right now are building infantry equipment to be able to afford these huge 40 width divisions. In a game where most divisions are 6 width or 10 width, 40 divisions or 40 width, it's that's a lot.
I mean, really... it's quite daring as well, considering the supply situation in North Africa, right?
Yeah, you're very right. But if you want to attack with force, of course, you want bigger divisions because they have more organization and so on. For defense, it's better to have smaller divisions. You can cover more of the front line. Support companies do more and whatnot. Don could give you the full rundown, I'm sure. Boppus, I mean. But yeah, so if you have these, say he gets these 5 40 widths out. I mean, if you put them on the line here, there's nothing that Pontus will throw at him that could break through. They would really be a big stop there. And if you compare the front line we saw in North Europe just now, it was much wider. There, I think this would be a disastrous strategy. But here, since the front line is so small, so narrow, this might actually be the correct tactic. We will see later if the supply situation comes back to bite him.
Yeah, I am trying to get another game here. Let's see.
Yeah, we'll focus on this one in the meantime.
Yeah, do it.
Don, do you have any thoughts so far about the game we just saw or about this one we're looking at right now?
Yeah, a lot of thoughts. The first game was really fun to see how I love blitzkrieg and fast attacks, and that worked out perfectly. I've also been doing a thumbnail because I forgot about it, so I've been a little bit occupied with that. But I agree what you said in this game, that the naval game is going to be extremely exciting, and the naval game is very binary in this game. So if you lose the first engagement, you will be really on the down foot. So I really hope we get to see that naval invasion, that naval battle, and the outcome will be extremely interesting.
Yeah, and having a look here, both players are also going for submarines. So we'll see a bit of sub warfare in a miniature scale here as well. One main battle fleet and a few smaller sub fleets here from Pontus. This will be interesting to say the least. How's your game starting up?
I am working my way here into the game. We have just started, and this time it is going to be the Polish front, where we have I don't know the players yet. We are going to have banning of factions coming out first. We'll see which ones they choose to ban. We have the Luftwaffe ground forces and the First Army on the Axis side is banned, and we are going to see who gets banned on the Allied side now. As you can see here, there is a lot of different factions with a lot of different focuses. As we saw before, we have the Communist Forces of China, a lot of manpower, infantry heavy. We have the United States with the industry power. And as we saw, the Soviets, I would imagine that they can go either very heavy into tanks with like Zhukov and so on, or some other tactics there. So yes, we have seen the first bans out. If I go to the player map mode here, we can probably see, yeah, we have Ivan this time playing Allies, and we have Mako this time playing Axis. So Mako is not going to be able to pick either Luftwaffe ground forces or the First Army. And yeah, this will be interesting to see. You do have a bit more of a naval game here, as Gotland is in play. And Gotland, as they talk about in contemporary military analysis, is pretty much an unsinkable aircraft carrier, because you have an airfield, you have an island, it's close to the front, and you can really be a headache for the northern part of like Danzig and Memel and these different ports here if you control Gotland. So we are probably going to see some naval game coming out from Ivan and Mako this time around.
Victor, we have a question in the chat asking if you've been going to the gym or exercising more lately.
Well, yes, I have. Thank you. Well, yeah. To be honest,
it's nice that it shows, and you look great, man.
It has worked out. Thank you.
Working out has worked out.
Yeah, indeed. Who would have guessed?
Who would have guessed? Yeah.
Well,
not much happening in my game at the moment. they are still waiting for the war to start. About 50 days until the war starts. Seems like Sticky is going heavy into the industry tree. You can see he just chose which direction to go on his Italian army. On each faction, you have two paths to take. He went with the first army, and then he's just been going heavily into the industry tree. Let's have a look at Pontus. Let's see if we see something similar there. Pontus has done a bit more of the military focuses, so not quite as heavy into industry as Sticky has gone. That would mean that if it's a longer game, Sticky would have the advantage. We do see here some motorized coming out from Pontus, so this will be his strategy. And as you can see, it's not a very big division. It's a 2-width division, just one truck in each division, made to snake, or looks like made to do a naval invasion. It's not putting them just, yeah, here they are. So that's the front line.
Yeah, looking over at the Polish front, nothing new. We have infantry equipment, trains and trucks, and early industrial focuses for both factions at the start. So about the same as last game, and still not unpaused. So remains to be seen.
Pontus
what happens.
Sorry, I'm just finishing a thought from before. Pontus is doing a crazy Hail Mary attempt with these tiny motorized divisions. He's going to do a naval invasion on all the ports and the next to ports as well, and just try to snake as much as possible. If he wins the naval battle, and if Sticky doesn't have defenses everywhere, which I can't see why he would. You tend to place most of it on the border, so this could spell the end for Sticky if he loses the naval battle.
Yeah, that's an interesting turn of events. I mean, I said before that the Axis probably have the edge in proximity to the tactical islands when it comes to naval invasions, but of course, you never expect the Spanish Inquisition, right? And if you get invaded in the back, then that can really suck for you.
Yeah, you never expect the independent truck battalions to attack from behind. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. Just a sneaky little invasion. Also, he's got Marines up, and these are veterans. This must be some focus kind of thing. Yeah, first Marine Division. He gets to 20 width divisions there. So these are heavy hitters. As you can see here, just Marines, but still, they are fully supplied and level 5 veterans as well. So these are the ones that are going to try and take Crete, and at the same time, all the motorized will go attack in the back. So that's very clear what Pontus's game plan is, and we are very close to war now. Just 15 days. I can't see just yet. Yeah, no air wings from Sticky just yet. It doesn't have too many planes to put as air wings, but yeah. And yeah, the paratroopers are not yet trained, so that will be a later addition. Sticky does have a few of his, no, these are not the big ones here. A few of the 40 widths are out. They are still not at full strength, though. But I think he's realizing that the war is coming, so we need to push out a couple of them before they are done.
Yeah,
so we
and
are before war here.
Before the war starts, should we turn off the day-night cycle?
Oh, that's
for the audience.
Yeah.
Just a minor inconvenience.
I don't even know what was there. I hate it. I must have played all day yesterday with it without realizing.
Meanwhile, in the Polish front, we have the first faction coming out. We have Mako is going French this time.
Okay.
And
culture.
Yeah, that gives you either you can go towards some reconnaissance, equipment capture, mechanized, and tank. I would imagine, I mean, all of the factions pretty much have like one tank, one infantry, seems like. But also you can go Army of the Maginot, which is much more geared towards defensive lines and entrenching yourself and so on. And it will be interesting to see what he picks here. But knowing Mako and seeing him last game, he is probably going to go on the offensive, I would imagine.
in North Africa, the war has broken out finally, and they are off to the races. As you can see here, we have the quick cavalry divisions from Pontus taking as much ground as they can early on. Sticky is doing likewise, but he only has one cavalry division doing the same work, so it's a bit slower. Still no naval invasions out, and still no naval battles. They are sending out their submarine fleets and their sub-hunting fleets. So still no naval invasions kicking off just yet. Maybe on Crete should be able to. Yeah, here we see Brits landing on Crete. Unopposed, of course, because that was neutral territory.
I realized I spoke too soon. It was actually Ivan that is going French, and Mako still going the industry focuses, because it's not unpaused yet, so they are still just shifting stuff around. And that I would imagine, because last time, as we saw, Ivan got pretty much rolled up by Mako's swift offensive, but he might be able to counteract that now with a more defensive focus.
Yeah, he should be really much more prepared this time. He knows what will happen if you don't prepare for a quick and early battle. So this will be really interesting. And for me, seeing you guys casting 2 games at once, because I think we'll have battles on both screens soon, and that will be extremely exciting.
Yeah. Right now, we still haven't seen any battles in North Africa, just some naval invasions. Pontus has now taken both Malta and Crete, unopposed, because Sticky hasn't brought his navy out to fight just yet. And on land here, we see them slowly edging towards each other. Having a look from Sticky's perspective, you can see here no naval invasions going just yet. He is advancing though. This is one of his stronger, the 40 width divisions. Still not full strength though, barely more than half. But he does have some light tanks out now. This is a welcome addition.
Do we have a naval battle there? Do we have a naval battle, or is it just submarines? Down, yeah.
Yeah, it just seems to be some submarines attacking some convoys. But this seems to be Sticky's main thing. He's going for some really beefy light tank divisions, and he seems to be careful not to show them too early. He wants the element of surprise still over Pontus. Pontus, on the other hand, he's not planning any new naval invasions just yet. He's already taken Malta and Crete. But here we see Sticky trying to take Malta back, or rather take it for himself. But he
could you go a little bit down? Do we have a naval invasion in the back going there?
Yeah, this is a dangerous one. Sticky is firing another naval invasion in the back of Pontus, but Pontus is bringing one of his Marines back. And as we said before, these guys are pretty beefy.
We have another one in Benghazi also, but we see the green bubbles there. So
still green.
Yeah.
It will be interesting to see how all of those naval invasions pan out.
Yeah, none of Sticky's naval invasions seem to be. Oh wait, maybe he can take Benghazi. Perhaps. How close is the help? No help real close. Yeah, doesn't seem like he's going to take it though.
No.
Nothing new on the Eastern Front. We have industrial focuses going out from Mako, and from Ivan. He has finished his first French focus and has not started a new one as of yet. Or he is going Army of the Maginot though, and towards the legacy of French innovation. So he is going to go a bit naval here, I can imagine. If he goes down here, he will get 2 battleships and an aircraft carrier. And looking over at the Navy here, he actually has a fleet of 15 ships. Meanwhile, on the Axis side, under command of Mako, we have no Navy. So he might be going for Gotland.
And in North Africa, the front lines have now met, and it's Sticky who is on the offensive, but so far Pontus is holding just fine, mostly due to the supply issue here from Sticky. If you have a look, all his troops are on red supply, and they are taking attrition. He really needs to move back from there. He cannot sustain this attack, especially since there are more reinforcements coming from Pontus. and his naval invasions were unsuccessful. So it seems like Pontus does have the initiative in this game at the moment. The naval war is still undecided. You can see here Pontus's main battle navy. Having a look at Sticky's veto, it's here. Yeah, not a bad navy either, but yeah, I think he needs to get in there and use it, because on land things are not going his way. He really needs to get back from here, and I'm not sure he can even. Since they are out of supply, they will move slowly. And if Pontus goes on the offensive now, this could be dangerous.
He should pin those troops and make us around. I'm not really sure why he's not. Yeah, now he's pinning them. Why aren't he trying to close that pocket?
He should be moving one of these. Yeah, he's being pinned as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is looking.
Yeah, there is the first pocket.
And good game.
Ah.
That's
Sticky realizes he's lost the game. Yeah, he was losing pretty badly. So yeah, fair enough. Good game. 1-0 to Pontus in the second semi-final. Over to Poland and the action there. Poland, this unfortunate place on planet Earth that's been the theater for many conflicts.
Yeah, indeed. And some of the Baltic is also included in this map. So it's only the northernmost part of Poland and the westernmost part of Poland. And the westernmost part of Poland, as of the start of the game, controlled by the Axis, and in this case, Mako, who is... has not yet upgraded, or he has upgraded his infantry divisions with some support artillery and some more infantry, but he has not started to train yet. But he now finished his first faction focus, which is the Imperial Japanese military, and he will continue towards the Imperial Japanese army, which will give you cost reduction for mass assault doctrine and army and navy experience. So he is going infantry this time, it seems like. Still no navy coming out from Mako here, though. Meanwhile, on the Allied side, under Ivan, we do have a navy. We do have an army prepared to push towards Memel and Vilno. And still going for the industry focuses here, though. He has started going down the military factory route and has not yet continued to specialize within the French focuses here. So he has not yet gained the battleships, the aircraft carrier, or any of the defensive bonuses or railway guns, for example, that you can get from the army of the Maginot.
But this map does not look as, it doesn't seem as important to have a navy on this map. It's a big, broad land front.
Yeah, I guess if you have, I mean, for example, as you said, in the land of no fighters, the man with one fighter is king. And it kind of goes the same for navy, right? Yeah. Because if Mako has no navy and Ivan has a navy, he will be able to secure Gotland quite handily. And that is one of the victory points here. You win if you control Gotland, Vilno, Polesi, Ermland, Masuren, and Memel. And if you control these 5, you win. And Memel and Vilno will probably stabilize on the side of Ivan if nothing extraordinary happens. And you can really gain an edge if you get Gotland, then, I would imagine. But
it also means that the Mako needs to defend his ports while Ivan doesn't have to. So Ivan will have more troops on the front line. So
very true. Very good points.
Yeah, we will see here. We have Mako has appointed generals. Again, we have General Shishuki Tanaka, which is an infantry leader, reconnaissance, and it fits quite well with his infantry-focused build here. As we saw before, he's going down the Japanese military, and now he has gone for Arisaka, which grants cheaper infantry equipment and also soft attack, and now he has gone towards bicycle messengers, which gives him bicycle infantry equipment and support equipment. So this is infantry now. There are no tanks coming out unless you count these bikes as a tank, which you can't, because that's only bicycle infantry. But they are quite fast, and they're probably quite lenient on the supply as well. So obviously it's faster to bike than to walk, but it doesn't take that much more supply, I would imagine. But we do see here that naval invasions are indeed planned from Mako towards Gotland as well, and he has gotten a navy out now, which is pretty much identical to the navy of Ivan. So we are going to see some sort of naval game going on here as well. Ivan has not yet planned any naval orders, though, and his navy is somewhat stronger because he does have a heavy ship that the Axis lack. And we do have some cavalry, or cavalry brigades they're called, but they're really medium tanks. So a bit more tanks from Ivan this game, whereas last game he had none. And we might see a bit of a turnaround, because I don't think that there is anything to answer towards these tanks in Mako's army this time. So we'll see how that pans out.
How long is it until the war breaks out? If you have a look at the decision.
19 days. So we are going to see a war breaking out very soon here.
Maybe we could have a quick look at the other game that's just opened up now before we get into the war in Poland. So this time we have a bit more of an open-ended map. As you can see here, this is the Axis player, which is Pontus this time around, and here is Sticky. And then you have on each side neutral territory and victory points, and in the middle water. So maybe a bit of a naval-heavy map once again for these two guys. Just having a quick look at the national focuses, seems like they haven't really picked any yet. So back to you and back to the action.
Yeah, looking at the action here, we do see some logistical problems for Ivan here, because he needs to be able to supply his medium tanks, and he is lacking in medium tanks, and that is going to last for 58 days, which wouldn't be a lot in a grand game, but in this game can be quite a lot, I would imagine. Meanwhile, on the logistical side of Mako, we do have a surplus of pretty much everything except fighters and artillery, which he is starting to rectify. I believe he only has 2 factories on artillery, though. He might want to ramp that up. He is also producing medium tanks now, so we are going to see some sort of tanks coming out from Mako as well. We have a medium tank baked into the infantry here, which would not be allowed in our regular games, considering it heightens the hardness of the entire division in a way that it's not allowed, but it is allowed in this mod, I would say. Yeah, and he has some Space Marines here, which will probably help him a lot in the front. We see naval invasion being executed off Gotland. Does Ivan have anything to answer this? He does not, but he is moving up to the front. He is not exercising this time. Still lacking generals, though. He really need to appoint generals, because if you don't, then you are going to be in trouble. But the fronts are going to meet here. He has finished his focus for railway guns now, so we are going to see 2 railway guns on the side of Ivan. The air war is also in the favor of Ivan, so and the hardness of his tanks, I would imagine,
we have
doing a lot of difference.
Yes, and this time Ivan seemed a lot quicker to get off the line and face Mako's troops in the middle of the neutral territory. So a more even game this time around, it seems like.
Yeah, definitely. This is not going to be a steamroll by Mako this time. However, the fronts have stabilized a bit here. I wonder if they are going to be satisfied with the river, or what is going to happen here. We do see some open tiles here, but pretty much both fronts are somewhat defended against encirclements, I would say.
And how are the first battles going? Because now they are facing each other in battle on several places along the line.
I would say that they are going in favor of Ivan, but he has the railway guns at this point. I would probably, if I was Ivan, I would like to see this go better. Considering I have the railway gun, but he might be able to perform an encirclement here on the bicycle infantry if he doesn't push them out. He is expanding in the southern front, and Gotland has fallen, though, to Mako's naval invasion, but I wonder how much that is going to affect the game in the grand scheme of things. Mako is pulling back his troops from this little salient here, and we have seen no encirclements thus far. Looking at the casualties at the moment, about the same, much more even game than last time. Focuses are still no focus on Ivan's side. Meanwhile, on the Axis side, we have Chrysanthemum Division, which gives 2 26 with infantry divisions and some infantry and support equipment. So we have the macro going in the way of Mako, I would say. He is better at making sure he times his focuses, has the generals.
Are there any new?
Do we have a surround up there, or they have a port?
I was wondering, but I don't think so, because there is one tile here that you need to get between Königsberg and Memel. But if he is going to click that, Ivan, and if this gets encircled, then I would say Ivan has taken quite a convincing early lead here, because that's 6 infantry divisions and 1 bicycle division. And being as infantry focused as Mako is this game, he is not really looking to lose those divisions.
Mako is trying to hold attack.
Yeah,
the ones we're trying to close the pocket.
Yeah, indeed. But looking at this, I think the railway guns are going to play into this. The railway gun focus probably was a good choice by Ivan here. He is pinning them here, and Ivan is going to win this battle eventually. It's just a matter of if he wins it fast enough. He is losing this, though, which can spell trouble for him, because he might get counter-encircled here if Mako manages to rout this division here, which he did now. And that could be very troubling for these 6 divisions here.
Reinforcements coming there. We see reinforcements coming from the back. Yeah.
Indeed, and they reached there in time, and he managed to pin these troops. So no encirclements as of yet. In the southern part, the fronts have stabilized, and no, we do see an encirclement here. Let's see if Ivan is able to save his troops here. If not, this is very troubling for him. He does have the railway guns, though. He does have. They are quite beefy, so they might be able to withstand this. But this is not a good sign for Ivan at this point on the northern part of the front.
It's a thing we see all too often. Things are looking really dire for one side, but in those situations, the situation is very volatile and anything can happen. So it's very often we see a surround turn into a counter surround or a triple counter, you know.
Yeah, and we see the divisions are starting to fall here. He has lost 1 division already, but he is trying some counter encirclement here. And if he gets this tile, oh no, there is 1 tile in between actually, so that is not going to.
I think Mako is going to kill that pocket. He seems too strong right now.
By the looks of things, this pocket is going to fall to Mako. Air is yellow, and this time we do have strong generals on both sides, and we do see maybe a bit of a counter-encirclement here, but he needs to rush in order to save these troops, and I don't think, as Don said, that he will be able to do that. And this is also a match point for Mako, because if Mako wins this game, then he is going to win entirely. So Ivan really has nothing to lose here, except this division.
He's trying to break through in the north. And,
he's doubling encirclement.
Oh, this is very bad for Ivan.
If he loses those, the game is done, I would say.
Yeah, pretty much, because the front is completely open then, and I mean these are tanks and beef infantry.
Maybe you can have a look at the total losses so you can see the changes.
Yeah, indeed. Let's check it out. We do see a significant edge for the Axis here when it comes to the losses, and
that pocket isn't closed yet, so that will ramp up quickly. Yeah, we saw an overrun there. Yeah.
Indeed, and the railway gun is also captured now by the Axis, so the railway gun meta is diminishing quickly, because that can be utilized very much against Ivan then. So this is looking grim for Ivan. We do see an encirclement here in the south as well, and I do think that Mako is going to take this one, although less convincingly than the first game, but still quite convincingly, I would say.
It seemed really like Ivan had a thing going there in the beginning, and the railway guns were a nice touch, but it only takes a couple of encirclements to really change the face of the entire game.
Yeah, it was quite close. I mean, if Ivan would have been able to get off the encirclement of the Axis forces in Memel, the game would have looked a lot different. But as of now, I don't see any way for Ivan to come back into this game. I mean, there are so quick games here as well, so you are not really able to churn out new divisions if things are not going your way. And we see the bicycles here just moving towards the victory points. He might lose this bike though, but
Yeah.
It's over, I would say.
Yeah.
Another thing with playing the one-on-one is that the rock paper scissors element of this game gets so enhanced, because if you're playing in a regular team game, then okay, you didn't build anti-tank, but maybe someone else in your team has the tanks and you can go fight someone else's infantry. But here, if you have the wrong build for your opponent, you're pretty toast.
Yeah. Indeed, and we're just watching the slow decline of Ivan's territory here, unless Mako really makes a grand mistake, then there is no way back in this game for Ivan. And we do see some shenanigans going on with the intelligence agency here. We saw resources sabotaged. They have problems with resistance, I think, which is interesting. Yeah, indeed, some resistance going on here in the occupied neutral territories.
Yeah. But I really like that Ivan is fighting on. This seems to be a losing battle, and I don't see any possibility to turn it around, but he's putting up a good fight, and I always love a good fight in Hearts of Iron 4, so kudos
we don't like
for
quitters
that.
in our community.
No, indeed not. And Ivan is very much not a quitter, because as we see here, another group is being encircled, and around Jelgava we have 4 divisions falling and the final encirclement of the army here, and that is going to be it. Looking at the states here, if we check the Axis view, they just won.
Good game, and congratulations to Mako. We have our first finalist.
Indeed, Mako advancing to the finals convincingly. He has been undefeated and goes undefeated in these games as well. So a very scary player to face in the finals.
And now in the other semi-final that's going on, where they have started just a while ago, Sticky this time is playing the Allies, and Pontus is playing the Axis. Wait, I think I got that right. Let me just, where do I see it? Why don't you? Yeah, Commando Supremo. Yeah, I think. Why don't I see the player names? Hang on. Yeah, right. Pontus is the Axis this time around, and as last time, Pontus is building a navy, and he is planning some naval invasions, as well as a land invasion here. Pontus was also, let's see, I think Sticky was researching medium tanks. Yeah, there we go. So Sticky is going for medium tanks. Could be a nice thing here, just to blow past Louisiana and Texas here. A lot of flat landscape, really good tank territory. And he could stop, I mean, at the Mexican border here. He doesn't really need to attack the homelands unless he wants to finish the match quickly. I suppose if you hold all of the mainland victory points, let's see, Florida, Texas, Louisiana. Yeah, so if Sticky manages to hold these land-based victory points, then he will still win eventually. But yeah, it ticks down quite slowly, so you're better off trying to defeat your opponent, I guess. Let's see. Yeah, so what does Sticky's navy look like? Pretty similar as last time. Battleships with some supporting screens. And here Pontus' navy is pretty identical, except he's got some cruisers as well. Yeah. Yeah, so Pontus is going for the Italians. But right now he's going for some industry focuses. But he's chosen the Royal Italian Army and then the First Army tree here, while Sticky, on the other hand, is going for the French. So we seem to see a pattern here. Some countries seem more popular than others, I guess. But he's also going for the industry focuses now, early on. He's going for the Free French, the Armée Française de la Libération, so not the Maginot focus. I guess this is more in line with the tanks. Yeah, you see some nice.
From when I casted the last game, I saw that there were mostly offensive focuses there. Some light tank, some mobile infantry stuff. Meanwhile, the Maginot was a lot more defensive.
Yeah, you are very correct. So yeah, he's going for a tank build basically. Let's see though if his navy will hold up. Right now, it is looking stronger than Pontus, but they are quite similar. This is, of course, a mirrored game, a symmetric game, unlike normal Hearts of Iron 4, where you never really get even opponents.
Yeah.
Yeah, very similar navies, almost completely identical.
And how long is it until the war breaks out?
That's a good question. We have 180 days, so quite some time still.
Yeah, we have seen a bit of a different meta there, whereas Mako and Ivan went on speed 4 for the entire build-up. Here we have speed 3, so there are less room, less mistakes being made in the stress of things, I would imagine, on speed 3.
Yeah. And here we see Pontus is repeating the strategy from last game, and of course he never got to use this strategy in the game last time. So he's doing it again. A bunch of small motorized divisions that are made to land in some inconvenient place and then just start snaking inland. I think it's a solid strategy in this mod. And he seems to be going for a front line of 20 with infantry. The interesting thing, though, is yes, they do have some anti-tank in them, which will be absolutely crucial. Let's see, their piercing is at 41.9. I don't know if we've seen the, still no armor divisions out, so we can't really have a look at how armored they are, but it's crucial that that Pontus is able to pierce Sticky's tanks.
Yeah, as you said before, that really comes into play here, because if you aren't able to pierce your enemy's tanks, if they have tanks, then you really do not have much time to adapt to that before you just lose.
Yeah, we can see here, Sticky noticed last game that Pontus was fond of naval invasions, so he is taking care of his coastline just a bit. But his capital is up here and still undefended up here in Norfolk. So there's still ample space for some shenanigans there. We see also here he's preparing land invasions of Florida, just some quick horses, and then the main thrust towards Louisiana and Texas. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's just these starting divisions, still nothing fancy going on while he's doing his industry focuses. Sticky, of course, is going for the 20 widths, and these are beefy divisions for this mod. Last game he was going for the 40 width, so this is half the size, but still it's beefy compared to what we're seeing from Pontus.
Yeah. It's interesting also that when the map is condensed to such a small area, you are much more able to adapt your combat width to the actual meta. Because when we play the grand games, you are like, okay, this combat width is meta because it performs mathematically best across the largest number of different terrains, right?
Yeah, you never know where you're going to fight, basically.
But now you know, like if you're going for the North Africa map, for example, you know that it's going to be desert up until Tripoli and then some hills. So then you can really adapt to that in a way that you can't in a grand game.
Here we see Pontus preparing his octopusy snaky naval invasion. And from the looks of it, all of them will fail except for this one, because up here we see there is no defense. The other ones will probably get bounced back, or in the case of this one, it will get beat up pretty quickly. But if a 2 width lands here, it could still, it probably won't kill him, but it'll cause some discomfort.
And we see troops moving in right now, so yeah, it's spotted.
Yeah, he's defending it. Yeah. So this little strategy from Pontus, it's not going to work.
Yeah, Sticky does not want to be kicked out early here. We have seen, we saw a quick 2-0 victory in the Ivan Mako match, but Sticky is really looking to get revenge here.
Yeah. Both players are going for military factories, having a look at the production queue. Some fighters, fighter 2s, also some fighters here from Sticky, going quite heavily into the submarines. Yeah, only submarines being built here by Pontus as well. So very, very similar builds, just like last time. These two players, yeah, they seem to have figured out the same things about this mod.
Yeah. But I must say it's really fun watching, and especially when they went for Speed 4, extremely intense game and quick to the battles. So really like the mod. Haven't watched that much before, but seeing it is right now, it's really exciting.
Yeah, we could actually, like, for the Hygge community, like where we don't have grand games, we could do some commander matches. It would be fun.
Yeah.
Sure.
More commander and conflict tournaments in the Hygge community.
Yeah,
indeed. Not? We need to take home the prize money so that we can buy new equipment.
Yeah.
I'm also thinking about the beer cakes for Bergårdhof.
True.
Yeah, that's the most
important.
All right,
equipment. I need to pay Johannes for Bergårdhof also. He wrote to me the other day.
You're on its blacklist right now.
Oh yeah, I didn't realize because it was like bank transfer, not
Yeah, they're arraying their forces on the borders. Some harbor defense from Sticky, but not so much from Pontus. Yeah, he's protecting his important harbors. No biggies, and it does look like Sticky has a few more harbors to defend. Yeah. I mean, Pontus has harbors here, but can you use the Panama Canal? If not, these harbors are pretty safe.
Yeah, I don't think you can use those harbors. I think it's only on the eastern side.
Oh yeah, maybe that's neutral territory. Yeah, I can see here the shift in.
I just Johannes actually just sent the rules in the chat here, so I'm reading here that active fleets must contain at least 3 ships. The minimum combat width is 8, maybe ignored for resistance template. Do not employ method of exceeding the special forces cap, like mass deploying divisions without equipment. Do not teleport units, and do not use exploits to gain naval invasion planning.
I think we have to notify Pontus.
Yeah, I'll notify Pontus. He's on a rule break right now.
Yeah,
indeed. Yeah, we need to widen the width of those templates.
But on the other hand, if he does widen the templates, maybe they can actually get through. Right now they're 2 width, but they could be they could be 116 width, and 116 width could actually have a chance of landing here. Who knows? Because these are not the best and the brightest that are defending the shores of the US here. So both Pontus and Sticky, they are long-term members of our community, and they've got Sticky at least has a few medals, and they've got a bunch of veterancy stars. Don't you have any stats on them, Victor? You were looking
indeed I do. I can be the stats guy. Meanwhile, you look at the game. We have let's see. It probably has to be updated since the grand game yesterday, but Sticky. Let's see here. Sticky. All right, I can't find the game tags. It's real names in this one.
So Sticky is Robert S.
Let's see. Yeah. I see him here. Right. So Sticky has 7 veteran stars, which means he has played with us for quite some time, and he played France during Bergårdhof.
Yeah, and every veterancy star is 5 games, so he's got at least 35 games, probably a few more.
The question right now I need to ask you, because I can't get a hold of Pontus. Should we pause the game and just draw him out of the Discord server and tell him?
I could maybe just pause the game and I'll write here in the game. No, I can't pause the game. I'm not allowed.
Just write to him in the chat.
Yeah.
So we don't get any rule breakers.
Yeah.
Important.
Let's see if he sees it and reacts. I also wrote them before and asked for speed 4, but I got no response. So maybe they're not really looking at the chat.
No, that's a problem right now, I would say, getting them getting them to read or see
they
anything.
they need to focus on the game, but we need to focus on everything. We have 2 games, and we have stream on YouTube and Twitch and chat.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, Sticky is that? Yeah, that's an 8 width. So Sticky is he's sticking to rules. So it would be unfortunate if Pontus won and he's a cheater, and we send him on to the big competition, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's just Hygge boys, they're cheating." You know, we don't want that. We want to play by the rules.
Yeah, indeed. But we'll probably get a hold of Pontus soon, and he will widen those templates. In the meanwhile, what do you make of the naval game in this map? I mean, there is quite a lot of. I mean, Gotland is somewhat of an island, but Cuba is significantly larger.
Yeah, you can actually see a naval invasion land here and not, take over the entire island at once. So it could be interesting to see what happens there. Also, I mean, this port here in Merida on the Yucatan Peninsula, it's quite far away from this front over here. So it's a real potential 2-front situation going on this map.
Yeah, the fronts are pretty split up. Florida should fall in a timely manner to the allied player here, I would imagine, but it opens up for some interesting tactics. You could probably do like a naval invasion of Miami in order to bog down the allied forces, for example.
Yeah. Looking at this, Pontus has a pretty sizable navy now. This is 1 stack, and then here's another stack also with fighting ships, and then quite a few submarines going. Having a look at Sticky's naval situation, yeah, he doesn't have at all as many boats.
No, this will favor Pontus really. Yeah.
So Pontus has the advantage at sea, but who has the advantage at land? Sticky should, in theory, have the advantage since he hasn't been going as heavily into the navies. We see him here building some infantry divisions, just 10 width. But he was going for some tank techs before. Not seeing any tanks just yet, though.
And I can say the rule break situation is under control. We have gotten hold of Pontus, and he will.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it seems like Pontus is going for the tank focus here. So he will get 1 French medium tank division, which is pretty beefy, but it's just 1 division still. So you'll have to use it very smartly. Let's see what focuses Sticky. No, wait, that was Sticky. Let's see Pontus, what focuses he's going for. Let's see, where are we? Right here. So he's going for this one right now. 2 light tanks. So both will have tanks coming at each other. What else do we have here? They seem to be quite similar, these 2 trees. Both are geared towards tanks, I would say.
Yeah, I would say the Italian is kind of light tanks, though. We did see Ivan in the first game when Ivan got steamrolled. He went for the air focuses within that Italian tree, but they do have some tankettes and some infantry there as well.
Yeah. So here is the hero medium tank division of Sticky. This is the guy who's going to do all the great deeds.
And how many days until war? Should be coming right.
Should be getting close now. 1 month.
1 month.
So 1 month until war breaks out, and we could start doing some predictions based on what we're seeing right here. Yeah, both will of course race from the border as soon as they can. Sticky does have some cavalry here on every tile just to be able to get ground as quickly as possible. Pontus, I mean, Sticky, on the other hand, he has just 1 cavalry division here on this main border. He's got the rest going to take Florida, which he probably will take quite easily. So this victory point is Sticky's. He's going to get the Louisiana victory point, and yeah, I would say he's looking poised to take the Texas victory point as well. So probably we will see Sticky taking these mainland victory points and and Pontus taking the island ones, because there's nothing from Sticky coming to contest the islands. And let's have a look now. Yeah, no more illegal motorized divisions to be seen anywhere.
Badger solved that behind the scenes.
Great work, Badger.
Yeah.
He's a bit in the hole when it comes to equipment, but it's because he's producing so much, of course. A bit of ambition for the future. Let's have a look at the production here. So we do see some anti-tank here from Pontus, which is good because he will be facing that medium tank. We could actually have a look at that medium tank division now to see the stats. Here we are. So the armor is 34, and if you remember before, we said that the piercing was 41 or something on these guys. These are the 20
There
width.
shouldn't be any problem.
Okay, that's bugged, right? Yeah, piercing 41. So shouldn't be a problem to pierce. The problem is the 10 width and the 20 width have the same symbol here, which is a bit annoying. So we can't really see which ones are the strong ones, are the ones that will fight the tanks. Just having a quick look. It seems to be mostly the 20 width, which is good for Pontus. So yeah, maybe this one tank division will run into a wall of anti-tank.
But that's the land game. What I really want to see now is an epic naval battle going on in the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah,
I'm really hoping we can see that. And it's rolling now, isn't it? I see some changes in the maps.
The war is...
we see the fronts are moving indeed.
And look at this. The Allies are heading with the strike force into this sea zone right here, the eastern Gulf of Mexico. And at the same time, Pontus has his... Yeah, it's just convoy raiding and naval invasion support. So it's not... we might see a naval battle anytime here. On land, you see here, they are moving towards the victory points. Pontus was quick enough to steal the Texas one. No naval invasions coming off just yet. The Gulf of Mexico is still contested. Florida being taken without problem by Sticky here. And here we see the first divisions meeting each other, and it was the light tank division from Pontus meeting the medium division from Sticky, and the Sticky could not punch through. He is of course low on supply, and that tank is very lonely out here. This is a really dangerous move from Sticky. When they are out of supply, like they are right now, they move incredibly slow, agonizingly slow. Now he finally got some supply, and here come the reinforcement from behind. So this tank division is saved for now. Looks like they are consolidating. Yeah, he's consolidating this line behind the river here. And but he does need to take Dallas though, unless he takes Havana. He is going for Havana. Let's see.
Yeah, and someone is meeting him there. No, just
submarines.
Yeah,
shooting down the convoys that were doing the naval invasion. So maybe we don't have a naval invasion going. Let's see here, another convoy raiding battle going on. On the main front though, no bigger battles just yet. It seems like Sticky crossed the river. Yeah, there's another river line over here. It is trying to push a bit across the line. We do see some mountaineers from Pontus here, maybe from a focus. Those were the tanks. They are here in the main. Yeah, these are event troops, quite strong, as you can see. Holding the line. Yeah, it does look like
quite a static front line.
Yeah.
Not as much bubbles and salients and stuff.
Yeah. But the general strong infantry here of Pontus, they seem to be doing really well here, and they are making a breakthrough. Let's see what Sticky's response will be. Sticky is still having supply issues on the middle of the line where his one hero tank division is, but he's moving it down in order to take care of this breakthrough here. They are breaking through though. Pontus is doing the most he can with these few units. It's a bit risky though to go on offensive with these few. But
yeah, and we see the tank is coming in there.
Let's see.
Yeah, you might get counter encircled here if you're not careful.
Yeah, this is one of those volatile situations we were talking about earlier. Here we have the encirclement closing, but yeah, it's a very thin lineup here. And look at this. We see Sticky coming in from the north. So far, though, Pontus is able to defend his pocket, which is being closed slowly but surely. That was a key defense there. He's going all out in the offensive now to close this pocket quickly. The tank is moving around. Sticky's hero tank trying to find a better angle.
Yeah, Sticky is also one game down here, so it's match point for Pontus in this case.
Yeah. Let's have a look at what's stuck in the pocket. Okay, so these are just regular 10 width infantry divisions, so nothing huge, but still, in a game with this few troops, every battalion counts.
Yeah, it's always the first encirclement that gets you going. Then you have more of an upper hand in the next encounter, and it's not huge, but it will feel.
We are from Sticky's point of view here, and Sticky is about to break through to the encirclement, and that would mean that this light tank is encircled also. It's out of supply and it's trying to get back, but it's really slow now that it's out of supply. This is a make or break moment in this game, I would say.
Yeah, but he will be able to, I think.
Battle is won, and now the counter encirclement is a fact, but will it hold? So far, so good.
Yeah, Pontus is looking to lose this tank here because it's already quite low org, so it won't take that long to actually close off this pocket and kill it. Because when you're encircled, like once you run out of org, you're dead, right? So if you start out with low org in the pocket because you've overextended, then you can't hold out for as long. Yeah, and Sticky must be cheering by his computer right now. Pontus is trying to break through with his second light tank, but it's not really able to. He's trying to shore up the defenses here where it was looking a bit weak, but it looks like he will be just fine. And the tank division is gone, and this infantry division will soon be gone as well. So the first major battle in this war goes to Sticky, which gives us an even game. Yeah, it's a good comeback for Sticky here, considering I'm missing the last game. Missing stuff on the seas here, I see. Another naval invasion from Sticky going off. What is Pontus doing on the seas, though? Nothing as of yet. Let's have a look at the fleets here. Yeah, still unharmed, the main fleet of Pontus. Let's have a look at Sticky's fleets for comparison. Without closing down the game. There we go. Yeah, Sticky's fleet is still tiny compared to Pontus, but Pontus hasn't been able to catch Sticky in an all-out naval battle. He probably should send his main fleet out by the coast. That would stop all the naval invasions dead in their tracks. But so far, he has not done so. The front seems to have stabilized a bit. Sticky is in a sticky supply situation, so he's not moving at the moment. But Pontus doesn't look like he wants to attack other than here in the very far north, where he might get across. Yeah, when you get an encirclement, it also opens up opportunities, because when you have this quite broad front and as few troops as you have in this mod, then when you need to go and reinforce and so on, then you really open up yourself to different avenues of attack as well. Yeah. It looks like Pontus is content with just defending for now. What does he have in his recruitment tab? Just a few extra cavalry here that won't really save the day. He's a bit behind on his macro here. No techs being researched at the moment. Sticky seems to have the initiative in this game for sure. Yeah. And also Cuba has fallen to Sticky here as well, and he takes control of Havana and those ports. Meanwhile, the neutral territory of Mexico has been occupied by Pontus.
Yeah, and now we can see here at the top of the screen, the allies, being Sticky, have 3 victory points and Pontus has 2. So if Sticky wants to play it safe now, he should really just hunker down and defend. But of course, we want him to go on the offensive because we like the action, and the other semifinal is done, and we want to finish this one so we can have the finals.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're not hoping for a World War I style game here. We're hoping for a World War II style game.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see though how this affects the game, because now Sticky got a victory point for free pretty much since he taken Havana, and he is pushing a bit here, but the game is in his hands, so to speak. So he probably doesn't feel too stressed.
Yeah, the onus is on Pontus to actually make a move.
Yeah.
Let's see if he is able to. So far, it looks unlikely.
And I'm sad to say that Pontus hasn't capitalized on his fleet, which I think he really should have done. So even with the smaller fleet, Sticky took Cuba, which sets Pontus back even more. So yeah, Pontus need to pull something out the hat. Yeah.
Yeah, and now the clock is ticking because Sticky has 3 medium armored divisions right now that are in the attack, and this could really break the front open. And yeah, that would spell the end for Pontus. Pontus is trying some crazy naval invasions here now, though, trying to capitalize on that naval advantage that he has. He's got 1 invasion set for Havana, and the other here in the back of the Allied lines, and it is undefended. So this could actually be a nice move from Pontus.
And it's also
Sticky has bad supply already, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, especially up here in the north. So yeah, that could be decisive. Let's see how far off this naval invasion is. There's one naval invasion,
right?
Yeah. So I guess they're just waiting for the still yellow navies, yellow control here in the western Gulf of Mexico. It looks like Sticky's advance has halted somewhat.
I wonder if Pontus is going to try some encirclements of these tanks that are pushed up a bit, but
yeah, he could, but he doesn't have that much strength right now on the line. It feels like to be able to pull that off. And right now he's got 3 military factories. Yeah, he's really hurting on the macro front right now. And right now he can't get any naval invasions off because this sea zone isn't completely his. But it should be, right? I mean, he's got all the navies. Why is it so red for Pontus here? Finally,
he got it.
He's got 1, but I think he needs both of them, right? Yeah, this
perhaps.
one goes into the eastern one. So 1 turns green and the other turns red. And meanwhile, yeah, he's doing fine. Sticky can't really attack while his supplies are this bad. I wonder if he's trying to construct some. Yeah, he's working on the railroad here from Omaha to Little Rock. Yeah, I don't know where Omaha is really, but Little Rock is here. So yeah, he's building a railroad here, maybe from here, perhaps. Who knows? The mystery of this game. Yeah, we see here some fighting going on. Sticky trying to push across the line. If you have a look at the victory points, Sticky is winning slowly but surely, but he wants to finish this quicker. And why not? I mean, if you do have the advantage. He does not have the naval advantage though. And look at this, both sea zones are green, so we should be seeing some naval invasions. And here comes the first one. These are just 2 10-widths though, and they are facing a 10-width from Sticky. Oh, actually 2 cavalry brigades, divisions. And yeah, I don't think it's going to land. We'll see. They are yeah, these are just 8 width though, but cavalry is slightly stronger than infantry, especially early on. But they got stuck. The naval invasion got stuck on this from these submarines. Let's see if it continues. Still no major engagements between the main navies. Pontus has stabilized the line somewhat. Still a very bad supply situation here from Sticky, and all of these divisions with the red skull are taking attrition. So yeah, look at this. This is bad, because this attrition means he's losing equipment without even fighting. And this type of equipment right here, medium tanks, he doesn't have a lot of medium tanks to just throw around. He does have some in production, but you see he's already in the hole. He is trying to build new ones though. So Sticky is going all in on the tanks, you could say. We heard the naval invasion sound there, and here we see a naval invasion of Havana. It's being defended though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's completely safe. What about New Orleans? Is that one a thing? Yeah, it got stuck on submarines as well. I'm not really sure how they're doing on anti-submarine warfare. So this is Pontus's. He's got a lot of submarines, and I think, yeah, a lot of submarines, not very much sub-hunting capability. I guess it's yeah, you could use the main fleet for that, but he's got submarines in the main fleet also even. So lots of submarines here on Pontus' side. And look at this. He's doing a bit of an invasion here in the north. He's identified that Sticky has no supply, and that makes Sticky a soft target. He is breaking through here, but he's doing no holding attacks to these guys. And as I say that, he's doing the holding attacks. So look at these guys in Tulsa. They are
looking
being
at the potential encirclement here.
And this could be a nice juicy encirclement. Sticky is trying to send help north, but look at that. The supply is just awful. He would be better off just moving back. There's no victory point in the immediate vicinity, so he should really move back to where he has supply, because this is really dangerous. This entire line could get wiped out. But did he just manage to get out there? Looks
like it.
Yeah. Good for him. Yeah, the naval invasion of Havana not going through. And the naval invasion of New Orleans seems to have been cancelled. So no big moves being made just yet. Yeah, just the Cuba thing still going. Nothing happening really there. And the main line is completely still. I would be, if I were Pontus now, I would be really trying to make a move, I think. And these are soft targets. Look at the organization of these guys. This is just ripe for the taking. Yeah. And he's got at least one light tank here, and these mountaineer divisions are pretty strong as well. Special forces, of course, being slightly faster than regular infantry, and if you've got no supplies, you're even slower. So this entire part of the line could get overrun right now.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like Sticky seems to command this game as of now. I mean, it's Pontus needs to make a move here.
It looks like Sticky is making a move with his main fleet. So we might see a main fleet engagement in just a while. They're heading down to the eastern Gulf of Mexico and having a look at Pontus. His main fleet is in the western Gulf of Mexico, but they're on both these sea zones. So we could see a naval engagement happening here very soon. And in the meantime, the front is completely still, except for the supplies of Sticky, which are running out. Even now in the south of the front, there are no supplies. I don't know, is he being like strategically bombed or something? No, it's just really on poor supply. So I can't really understand why there's so bad supply. These supply hubs still have a bunch of supplies left. Yeah, this is above my pay grade. Do you have any comments on why is the supply situation so bad for Sticky?
My screen is a little bit too low to actually see. I think for the finals we should all join the game so we can see the intricacies of the stuff happening. But
yeah, well,
I'm
but
not sure.
in general, I mean the supply situation is blue everywhere except for on the very front line where it's very red. And he's
oversupplied. He's oversupplied. He has too much units. Oh,
do we have an encirclement there?
Yeah, we have an encirclement.
Yes.
Lost.
Yeah. So Pontus just attacked and he went into those low supply units, and now much of the front is gone. These 4 divisions up in the north are looking very precarious. They're about to eat dirt.
They turned it around on Sticky there. This is looking dangerous for Sticky.
Yeah, Sticky is trying to move his tanks up north again. He's desperately trying to reform a line, while Pontus is just streaming in here. This would be the perfect opportunity to capitalize with some naval invasions and stuff.
We have a naval invasion.
We have naval invasions from Sticky. So Sticky landed 1 horse in Cancun. Nice vacation place, I hear. And then he tried to move inland. But yeah, this horsey is not going to cut it. So Pontus is safe for now. And this is looking really scary for Sticky. Let's see, what does he have here? Yeah, he's trying to reform a defensive line further back. This would mean that he would lose most of his victory points, though. So we're looking at a longer game now. If Pontus wants to win on points, he'll have to start from the beginning because Sticky hasn't lost any. Does seem like Sticky will be able to save his medium tanks. He's got these 2 covering the retreat of the 3rd one over here. Still has 2 more in production, but he's low on the actual tanks because they've been left to rust here on the line without supplies. Yeah, this is a bit scary. Still a lot of troops here for Sticky that need to get out, and they may not be able to.
Yeah.
This
line, is a good turnaround for Pontus.
Definitely a good turnaround. This line is reformed, but yeah, you can see here it's not very thick just yet, and already one of the mountaineers of Pontus have broken through, and Sticky is unable to dislodge him right now. Let's see what happens to these 3 tanks. Yeah, Sticky is doing a bit of a counterattack here, but they are woefully alone here. They're doing a bit of a delaying action, but yeah, now he's trying to move them out. Will he be able to, though? They are attacked from all sides, and this tile right here is losing. No, now it's winning. He managed to move an infantry division there to defend just in time. But these guys need to get out. He's trying to retreat. Get out, Sticky. Get out now.
I think he will manage.
It looks like he will, yeah.
Yeah.
And these guys are not. These guys are not about to attack south. So yeah, he's getting out all 3 divisions, and he has a defensive line set up here. He's still trying to hold on to this this little part of Louisiana down here, though.
Is it marshes, the terrain?
I think you are correct. Yeah, they are marshes. So good defensive terrain here. He is being pushed back, though, and I think he might be planning to do an evacuation by sea. Speaking of sea, do we see any naval battles? Here's a naval battle, but just some submarines being chased. Going back to the evacuation here from Texas. Yeah, the south is still holding. Sticky is trying a bit of a counter attack down here in the south, but
if New Orleans falls, though, I would imagine that the victory points evens out.
But we have a counter encirclement there. Look at the pocket.
Yeah,
is it 1
infantry divisions there?
Yeah.
Well, still just the 6 width divisions, I think, or maybe it was the more expensive 20 width divisions that Pontus has. They have the same symbol, so it's a bit hard to see. But yeah, most of his divisions here are the 20 width kind.
How does it look manpower-wise, the casualties?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm just
Too many
clean
windows.
up my mess here.
You need to click it.
There we go. So here we look at the casualties, and not too uneven. So the Allies have lost more. Probably that big encirclement up in the middle of the line did some damage. But now, once again, the fronts have stabilized somewhat, and Sticky is breaking through. He's got 5 tank divisions now on the attack, and that's a lot of tanks in this small one-on-one game.
And it seems that he has supplies now, also, doesn't he?
Yeah, they are not with the out of supply symbol. And if I have a look at the supply map mode here, yeah, it's much bluer, much nicer, except of course for the tile with 5 tanks on it. That's quite heavy. He should probably have split up his tanks a bit, attacked from more directions.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what it's doing, and we see the units going down the south of the tanks. They won't cut them off, but
they could force a retreat or something.
Yeah, he's looking for a hole in the line.
Yeah, that's what he should have done. He shouldn't even walk away.
Let's see now if these horses overextended. They're still not moving back. Pontus is now moving them back, but yeah, they should be pinned from these guys here. Bit of a micro mistake there. But look at this, battles going on everywhere. One horse being encircled over here. And battles all across the line. Sticky seems to be holding somewhat. The main offensive thrust of Pontus is attacking down here, the light tank and the 2 mountaineers. In the meantime, Sticky is using his 5 medium tanks to great effect. And yeah, now it looks like Sticky has the initiative again. Having a look at the Navy map mode. So this is from Sticky's point of view. And somewhere in here is, of course, the big scary navy of Pontus, which Sticky has been avoiding so far.
It's really interesting to see how kind of different games you have in this mod, from extremely quick games in Europe to this a lot bigger map, and also the map in North Africa a lot bigger and a lot more time to actually get stuff happening.
Yeah. And there's just, the longer the game goes on, there's just too much meat on the line.
Yeah.
Looking at Sticky's his logistics here, he's got quite a bunch of equipment in the stockpile. He could push out quite a few more divisions if he wanted to. I mean, just a few infantry divisions would be nice. He's got the infantry equipment. He's got the support equipment. I mean, yeah. Put some stuff out there. He's not doing so yet, though. He's content to just micro his 5 tanks. We see a bit of an invasion here from Pontus, but he doesn't seem to have too much to follow through. It's just no real concentration of force. Just a few guys.
And look what Stick is doing. He's putting in the tanks at work immediately. So right now, I think he's just tricking Pontus. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what Pontus' plan is here, because sure, you can break through the first tile, but you need a bunch more troops if you want to follow up and actually make something out of it. Right now, he's just making himself exposed for this kind of counterattack.
Yeah.
He might actually lose one of these mountaineers. We'll see. Now they are retreating, though. Yeah, they're fine.
No one has the upper edge right now. I would say Pontus should have the upper edge, but Stick is the one killing units. So still anyone's game, I would say.
And Sticky is still holding the victory points, which is really significant. So all this time, Pontus' points have been going down, and he's down to 135 points right now. So Sticky is winning this game slowly but surely. But now we see paratroopers prepared from Pontus. And yeah, that could be a really nice addition. So
are they real paratroopers or just like small ones?
They are small ones. The minimum width, the minimum width allowed.
Yeah.
Still legal.
Yeah. It's important to follow the rules. As Johannes said last game, he was going about the freebase a little bit. And I don't know if you saw it, but I told him you can't freebase. It's not legal in most countries.
Yeah. I've noticed lately freebasing has become slang for freestyling or whatever. Freebasing is like when you do smoke heroin, isn't it?
Yeah. It's two kind of different things.
Yeah. And you often see the exact type that wouldn't be doing heroin. They're the type of people to use the word freebasing.
Yeah. I'm just freebasing at work.
Yeah, exactly.
That gets you in contact with the HR.
Yeah. Very quickly. So the front looks quite slow right now. Sticky has arrayed his strongest units in the south, and so has Pontus. So we see both the Mountaineers and light tank here from Pontus' side, and all the medium tanks of Sticky in the south. Preparing something, I believe. Let's have a look if we have an attack. No planning bonus for Sticky. Here we go. So he will try to do his breakthrough a bit above the coast, which is smart because then you can do, as has been done here many times before, you take a bite and then you cut it off. And that could be a game-winning move if it's executed correctly. Right now, though, he's running back to defend as well as he can.
But you have the ticker up there. So when the ticker goes down to 0, we have a win for Sticky. Do I understand correctly?
Exactly.
As of
now,
yeah.
Which would tie the game up, and we will have another semi-final. So right now, Sticky is he's looking very comfortable here. Nothing Pontus is doing right now seems to be able to threaten. He moved his paratroopers back to the capital and then back to position again. I'm not really sure what that was about, but they are now at full fighting strength. So maybe we'll see a bit of a landing there. Right now, though, the air zone is controlled by Sticky. He's got 100 fighters there, and 100 fighters. Let's see. Yeah, so Pontus also has some fighters. He will need to move them down, which he probably will. Let's have a look here. I think we're seeing some battles on the line again. Yeah, Pontus is trying to break through, this time in the north, and he's doing just fine. The only real troops of quality in Sticky's army is these 5 medium tanks, and you can see them right now as a fire brigade moving north because that's where the intrusion was. But no, Pontus has stopped his attack. A bit indecisive. It seems like Pontus is not sure really what to do. He's got his paratroopers. What? Where'd they go? Here they are. Okay, new plan. He's not dropping on Cuba anymore. He's probably dropping in the back lines and trying to make some kind of decisive move here. He is running out of time, though. He's down to 49 victory points, so he really needs to get a move on if this is going to have any bearing on this game.
Yeah, he needs to get New Orleans. That's probably what he's making a push for, because if he can even this out, but I don't think he will have the time by the looks of things now.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we've seen a lot of 2-0s in the games that have been played before. So this could be one of the first tied games that we have. Seems like most of the others have been decided in a 2-0 fashion. Oh, look at this big move from Sticky here. One of the Mountaineers, as well as one of these guys, a 20 width being killed up here. Oh, yeah. No, it's not completely shut off just yet.
With 34 victory points left, though. I mean, he lost some there, but he just wants to make the push for New Orleans.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Sticky's game to lose. Pontus is now down to 30 victory points. He is breaking through the lines, though. This is his big attack. Still no plans on the paratroopers?
No, and the thing is, like, if he takes New Orleans, then he just evens it out. So, I mean, then Sticky has 500 victory points to lose. So,
yeah, but I think
it buys him some time. But
if he takes New Orleans, the count stops, or at least Pontus's points will stop ticking down. and it's getting really close now. He's down to 18 points, and right now Sticky is defending. He's bought his tanks down here. I think Sticky is realizing that he needs to hold this victory point. What happens up here now in the north is basically irrelevant because they won't be able to reach.
Yeah, he won't reach Birmingham before he ticks out, and by the looks of things now, he won't reach New Orleans before he ticks out either.
This is Sticky's game to win. Yeah.
Yeah, we're at 8 points now. The countdown is real, and Pontus is not breaking through. He's got his paratroopers planning to land in Florida. If he landed in Florida just a bit earlier, he just needed to take one more point, but now he's down to 1 victory point, and this will be game. GG. Yeah. So we have a 1-1.
1-1.
Indeed we do. The naval invasion of Havana actually working wonders for Sticky there.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay, so a very even matchup here between Pontus and Sticky. 1-1 in this semi-final. We still haven't picked who will get to meet Mako in the grand final of this Hygge leg of the Commanders in Conflict tournament. So just stay tuned, and we will rehost the game and get ready for the deciding semi-final.
Yeah, that's true. Now we only have one game as well, so I could join the same one.
Yeah, and I think Don should as well, because he's the one with the deep knowledge of the game. So you can check the nerdy stats.
I will. Let's have Don in the game, and I will be a stats guy.
So I wonder which game. Who's
we have
hosting?
A cake game.
Yeah, I don't think that's.
We need to tell them to host a game.
I'll ask them.
They should be. Go.
Let's have a look. Yeah, now we have a game. Hygge Commanders. There we have the secret password known only to our players. Like a secret handshake.
Like a secret handshake. Yeah.
So we are now joining the game. Interesting to see. So we're playing Northern Europe, it looks like.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Back to Normandy.
Yeah. The Low Countries, Normandy, and Northwest Germany, I guess.
Yeah. Should we just look at the leaderboards before we go into the game? Because they're gonna pick and choose a little bit.
Yeah, we're just waiting for Victor to join the game as well.
All right. Yes, let me do that.
So,
HOI Commanders.
So right now we have Mako going forward in the first quarterfinal, semi-final in our group. Stick and Pontus are playing now. They're 1-1, so this game will be the deciding factor who's meeting Mako in the final. And the final will be streamed even today, so we will have a group winner. And the group winner will go home with, I think I have the prices here. The group winner will go home with 250 euros of pocket money for beers. And they will also go forward and have the possibility to win even bigger prizes. So for this tournament, as we said before, it's a grand prize of 5,000 euros, which is quite a lot of money. So yeah, we're all absolutely cheering for our guys, but someone will win 250 euros tonight.
Yeah. Just could you pick observer mode, Don, and click ready, and then they can start the game.
Yeah.
There we go. We should be in the game very soon. And if you're new to this channel and you like our content, you like what you see, you can see a lot more of it. Nothing like this, but some different things on our YouTube channel and Twitch. We stream grand games, multiplayer games, every month with more than 30 players playing each time, with a dedicated live studio like the one you're looking at right now. We also publish guides every week or every other week, and every week for our patrons. And speaking of patrons, if you like what we're doing, you can also support us on Patreon. So if you go to patreon.com/Hygge Gaming, you can become a Patreon. And even if you just become a Patreon on the free level, you will get updates and stuff on what we're doing. So go to patreon.com/Hygge Gaming if you want to support us. Thank you. End of commercial message.
Well done.
So they're not starting the game just yet. I'm not really sure why. Are they taking a break or what's going on?
Yeah, at least I have read it up, so they can't complain at me anymore.
Yeah, I'm just writing to them.
Yeah, I am ready. No, it says, yeah, Commissar Sticky is not ready.
Okay, so Sticky is the one not readied up. I'm just gonna remove my sweater. Be right back.
So what do you think, Victor, for this game? We have 1-1 going into this.
Yeah, it will be very interesting to see. I mean, Sticky did play it safe this time. We have only seen very offensive, very like games ending quite quickly, going on the offensive 2-0. Now we saw very much a calm and collected play by Sticky here. He did a naval invasion of Havana, realized he had the advantage in victory points, and he was down one game. So he pretty much defended it out, and that's a tactic we haven't seen before. And there is a lot of defensive focuses in the mod as well. If you go like Army of the Maginot, for example, I imagine if Ivan could have done something similar in the second game against Mako, if he caught, let's say that he caught Gotland due to the naval invasions, and then he just went full Maginot focus, couldn't be pushed through, and won on time. It's an interesting meta shift, and also that's something that you need to adapt to as a player, because when it goes really fast, then it's like, okay, I'm going this build, and the one with the best micro and the best builds just win. But if it goes on longer, if you're defending, then you have a much bigger opportunity to adapt, convert factories, build infrastructure, maybe convert chassis from your tanks and stuff like that. And yeah, it will be interesting to see if this changes it up a bit. And also now when we have the new map as well, I think that this map is less suited for a long run defensive game than the American one.
Yeah, I would say so as well. But yeah, it's interesting though, because now they've played each other 2 times already. So you can't really do the same strategy 3 times. That would be insane. So they will have to switch it up a bit and see how they do that.
Yeah. Then again, also like the more things change, the more they stay the same in a way. Like, because Gotland is a victory point. It's quite close to naval invade for both factions, and if you naval invade Gotland, you get the ticking victory points, and technically you could play a similar tactic here as the last map, just that it's Gotland instead of Cuba and the Polish woods rather than the American South, which perhaps affects supply and combat with in some way, but quite similar. It's one of those things where you don't think it's similar. It's like when you see the Finnish mountaineers in the north of Iran during the Grand Games.
Yeah. Yeah, we see here the different victory points here to your left. Gotland is 1, Vilno is 1, and yeah, there were some other names there that didn't match up. Polish names, of course, always a challenge. Although these could be more like Lithuanian, Gotland is Swedish. Never mind.
Yeah, I think it's the state that you win if you control the majority of, for example, Ermland Mauseren, which is which consists of like Lyck, Suwałki, and some of those around there.
Yeah, so this is 1, Ermland, and Vilno is 1, Gotland is 1, and then we have Memel, and the last one, no, Polesi. Oh, it's down here.
Can we see if we can get 4-speed preparation this time, so we don't have to sit all night?
Yeah,
we're trying to get that.
We're trying to work them. Let's see if we can see no focuses chosen just yet. I still think they're still deciding and whatnot. Is this like no, it's just that Yeah, he's been doing the same techs every game basically. Sticky has. This seems to be his opening moves: the armored trains, the two plane techs, and the improved anti-tank.
Pontus hasn't got going yet, has he? No.
No, they have not. I'm
nothing
looking
has yet
to see
gotten going.
If they are revealing any faction focuses. We saw last time when I casted the game where Ivan was playing the allies, he actually went for a faction focus before the industry, so then you could get some information towards what he was going. But
right, yeah, no real information just yet. So except that we have Pontus here playing on the allied side and Sticky on the Axis this time. Sticky, of course, in real life lives on the Shetland Islands, which is like, I don't know, out here somewhere. They're not even represented in the game. Oh, wait, this is the Shetlands?
Yeah, isn't it? No, that's... Some one of those are the Faroe
Orkney
Island, and the other one...
I think these are the Faroes. Aren't these the Orkney Islands? Could someone in the chat please give some clarity? I wish there was some type of web page where you could look at a map or something.
Yeah, because now we're just looking at the map.
Yeah. Pontus, on the other hand, is a Swedish player. I'm not sure where he lives. Is he Stockholmer?
Yeah, he lives in Stockholm. Two Barry Horde golf games before I picked them up and drove down to Halland.
Right, so you had some quality time with Pontus then.
Yes.
He's a stand-up dude.
Yeah, both Pontus and Ivan in the same car.
Oh, right. Nice.
It will be interesting to see here.
We see some focuses coming through here now. So, from Pontus, he's going the Red Army focus. Still yet to be seen if he's going the tank route or the infantry route, but he's going the Soviets.
Yeah, we have Sticky going Imperial Japanese military. It's the same as we saw last game when Mako was playing the Axis. He also went Imperial Japanese, so offensive infantry, I would imagine.
Sticky is not repeating his winning strategy though, but yeah, he was playing the allies then, so of course he couldn't really do that.
Interesting, though, that the Japanese military tree has a very big naval focus as well if you go the left part, and army focus if you go the right path. It's quite historically accurate considering the inter-service rivalry of the Japanese army during the Second World War.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, interesting to see if he goes the navy route. That would be something.
Yeah, he might take a page out of Sticky's book and invade Gotland, because he has some harbors in close proximity here. But there is 2 sea tiles for the Axis to invade Gotland, but only 1 for the Allies, since Gotland is on the northern part, or the harbor is on the northern part of Gotland.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We'll see though. If he goes too heavily into Navy, he might just get swallowed by the red tide coming down from the north. Still, the game is paused.
Yeah, I'll take the moment to give my keyboard a new battery because it's out.
Oh, that's nice. Some tender care for Mopus keyboard.
Indeed, indeed. Let's battle orders being planned out at least, but that's only to stabilize the front.
Yeah, and still they're only equipped with their starting units, so it's these 12 width guys.
Yeah, not showing any cards yet, like some artillery production, some anti-air production actually. We haven't seen that in the games before. It's mostly been only artillery and anti-tank in some cases, but anti-air is a new one.
We can see the techs are quite similar. Both Sticky and Pontus have seemed to be fond of the armored train technology. We've seen it in several games now. I'm not really sure how important that is. Maybe it's good, but yeah.
I mean,
isn't it mostly if the enemies have? So it gets more resistance getting bombed there.
Yeah. And I guess also they're going more military research focuses, because when you don't go the industry focus first, like if you go the faction focus, then you get some military bonuses. But once you go start rapid industrialization, then you get 3 times 100% research bonus for industry. So you really want to do that before you go into the research of like machine tools and excavation and those things.
Oh yeah. So the industry tree, of course, being the same for all the factions. They're just different in which military focuses you use. And both of them are going for the faction focus now in the beginning. So the game is rolling just at speed 3, though. They are defying the orders of the studio. We'll see if they manage to pick it up a bit.
Yeah, we'll see. We see 2 battle orders being planned out, though, from the Axis here. We have one Eastern Polish offensive, more concentrated towards the Baltic coast. Meanwhile, a broad front in the middle. So
the one on the coast is just one lonely horsey.
Yeah,
so
he's
that
probably.
He's going for the ports as quickly as possible. He's going for Memel, which is one of the victory points. If he manages to take this line that he's planning to take, that would be enough of the victory points, because he's got Vilno, this one, Arnold Masuran, Memel, and Polesi. So even if Pontus would take Gotland, it wouldn't matter. But this is it's quite a chunk of land to be able to take. Pontus hasn't drawn up any battle lines just yet. He is mindful, though, of being elevated in the back, as we can see here.
Yeah, I think also the one horsey going towards Memel is also probably a good idea from the Axis side here, because it is a bit further to Memel, I believe. Or
for the Axis than for the Allies, you mean?
Yeah, or I thought so, but looking at things, Danzig is actually about the same amount of tiles away, so.
Yeah, it's similar, I think.
Yeah.
But the travel time isn't identical between different zones, I think. So the faction focus is done, and he's going the Navy. Sticky is going the Navy route. That's interesting.
Indeed, he is. That's interesting. That's kind of a hit or miss strategy, I feel.
Yeah.
But if he wants to take Gotland when he has one more sea tile where he needs to gain naval supremacy, it's probably a smart thing, because if you want to remove the disadvantage that you have as the Axis here, then the Navy is probably a good idea. And they are not mutually, or I mean, they are mutually exclusive here, but once you have done the focus, they are not mutually exclusive. So then you can still go some like some technical, like a parachute and some infantry divisions. I do believe that you can find. We have like Amtracs and some marine divisions and some elite infantry divisions as well. So you don't need to go entirely down like heavy cruisers and those things. But it is a Navy focus.
Yeah, and on the other side, though, Pontus is going with a tank focus. So he's going the Soviet route and the 5th Guards tank army. So this is interesting. We got tanks versus Navy.
Well, the Soviet tanks worked out really well for Mako when he did it. He didn't face much of a resistance then, but the tanks were very strong. So it might be dangerous if Sticky puts all his eggs in the Navy basket, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that absolutely in this map, I would have gone land units. I think tanks beats Navy, but that's the take for now at least.
Yeah, I would tend to agree, just looking at the map and the fact that there's just one victory point out at sea and the rest are inland, and quite a bit inland as well. I mean, you can't just do some sneaky naval invasions up by the coast and get all the victory points. They are quite far down. On the other hand, though, we see a lot of foresty areas here, and that's not the terrain for tanks.
Yeah.
But I mean, if
Also-
if all you're facing are ships, it doesn't really matter.
You
Yeah,
have
but
the planes going down to Königsberg, so
Oh yeah,
there's a lot of forest, but there's also some planes to play with.
Yeah, that's very true.
I also imagine, like, if you see Sticky, he might not go the naval route in regards to ships. If he goes like 2 elite marine divisions and then down to 2 elite infantry divisions, he gets like 18 with 9 marine support, RT, and engineer company. And I mean, that is just as good for crossing a river as it is invading Gotland.
Yeah, but still, those are the troops he gets. If you have a look at Pontus's focus right now, it's stronger basically. He gets the 5th Guards mechanized, will give him 2 mechanized divisions, and he can also get the 2nd Tank Corps that would give him 1 heavy tank division, which would be really strong. A heavy tank division in this environment could really do some damage, I think.
Especially if the game goes on for long, if you get into this defensive stalemate again and he goes for Marshal of Victory at the end where he gets armor division attack +10, motorized attack +10, division speed +10, like that's really something that can change up the game late. Meanwhile, the finished focus of Sticky, where we get supremacy of the navies, naval bombing, fleet coordination, and invasion defense, which is significantly worse if you want to break through a static front line.
Oh yeah. Sticky is getting ready for a naval war that might not happen.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an interesting meta consideration in these games. Like, if you go Navy, you always run the risk of the opposing player not going Navy. And what do you do then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, unless the geography says build Navy. I mean, the previous map, that could be a good case for going heavy on the navies. But this map, not so much.
Yeah, I mean, especially you could surprise people. Like the last map when Florida was neutral and like the Horn of Mexico was also neutral. If you go early Navy there, you can really bog down troops, do naval invasions towards neutral territory on your opponent's side, so to speak. That is much harder here. Then again, I would imagine if the Axis get some complete naval supremacy, Sticky will probably try to go for an invasion of like Tallinn or Riga or something like that, and that could really be interesting.
Oh yeah. I mean, Pontus is defending the back line a bit, but this won't hold up if there comes a focused naval invasion. And as you were saying before, Sticky can get through his focuses some pretty solid marine units.
Indeed, and we see expansion of the industrial sector on the Axis side, and on the Allied side, expansion of the arms industry. So it is factory focuses, civilian factories on the side of the Axis, but military factories on the side of the Allies.
Yeah, makes sense. For
as everyone knows, you always want military factories and nothing else. Extremely important in every game.
Yeah, Don is notorious for hating civilian factories.
Yeah.
And considering you have proven scientifically that you want to go always military factories in a grand game, then you probably would want to do that even more in this type of very short games, because then you cannot really leverage the industrial potential you get from the civilian factories.
Yeah, I haven't really checked out everything if it's like in vanilla or like in their finest bro, but yeah, if you're 200 days to war, I would not go for civilian factories. If you're gonna wait 3, 4, 5 years, of course civilian factories can be something to do. But sorry, this shouldn't be a discussion for civilian or military factories, but I can't help myself.
Mako said civs don't make guns, Lul, only butter.
Yeah.
And he does indeed have a point there.
Sticky is going for 20 width again. This time without the anti-tank in the line, though. He does have a bit of a support anti-tank. But yeah, if you compare it to the last game where his piercing, that was Pontus' piercing, but that was around 40 when he had the anti-tank and the line, and here it's just 25. So these guys won't do as well against what's coming. I wonder if they've built any spies. Yes, Sticky has a spy agency, and he's got the spy on Tallinn, which is the northern coast area, which might indicate he's going for a naval mission up here.
So yeah, he's just expanding the industrial sector now, but he might actually go for some. Because I mean, if he gets Katsu, for example, and he gets the Amtrak technology, that would be interesting. Because I mean, we do see that Pontus have reinforced Tallinn with 1 infantry division, but if an Amtrak lands, then he will be in trouble.
Oh yeah, definitely. But even I mean, he gets the 2 elite marine divisions there on one of the focuses, so that could really do some damage. But I mean, nothing that a couple of medium tanks can't sort out, unless of course they are stuck down here in the main fight. So we have 62 days until the war, just over 2 months. Still on speed 3. They are stubbornly taking it slow.
Yeah.
Not much in the terms of. Oh, look at this. Sticky's going for the paratroopers this time, and they are legal. The width of consent is 8. And as I said, he's going for the 20 width. Pontus, on the other hand, hasn't really. Oh, I spoke too soon. He's going for a very similar build, also 20 width. But Pontus, on the other hand, is going for the anti-tank, which will be quite useless because Sticky won't be going tanks. So Pontus would actually be better off using Sticky's template and vice versa. So Sticky's going for the cryptology department. Getting the cipher of Pontus could be a good idea. Still not started deciphering just yet, but that seems to be his plan. Yeah, and the same going here with Pontus. He's also decrypting Sticky's cipher.
Have we seen that in the earlier games? I don't think so.
I don't know. We looked at the spy agencies early on, but then we didn't really check back on them. So maybe.
We'll see how it pans out.
Industrial focuses, not really telling us what they're going for, but yeah, we see some improved medium tank chassis here. He is of course going the tank route, so it makes sense. He must have gotten inspired by Sticky's last game. Medium tanks looked very comfortable.
An interesting move from Sticky here, because he has gone like 2 focuses down civilian factories, and now he's doing the focuses for the arms industry. And I mean, mathematically, that's a bad idea because you get 4 factories for the final focus, but you only get 2 factories for the first one. And also, once you finish an entire industry tree, you can choose adaptable, engineer, or commando for one of your generals, which you can't do if you haven't finished the 3 focuses above. So I would say that he missed out a bit there. He should probably have gone military from the start.
I suppose if you're going to build the civilian factories, the earlier you get civilian factories, the better. So, I mean,
that's true as
well. It will be a longer game strategy, sort of.
But I don't think Pontus is preparing for a longer game here. It's straight arms industry expansion, 5th Guards tank army.
Yeah.
I would imagine he goes down 5th Guards mechanized tank corps after he finishes off this, and he will just go adaptable, give it to a tank general, and steamroll, I believe.
Yeah. So
build-wise, it's really to the ally side right now. I think Pontus has, good chances here.
But there are many things that could go wrong for Pontus. He will not have many tank divisions out, maybe just, 3 in the beginning. The focus will give him like maybe 1. So, and if you look at what Sticky is going for, the kind of strategy, he will be doing naval invasions. He will be doing paradrops. And if you're a bit low on supply with your tanks, just driving around a Lithuanian road down here, and suddenly a paratrooper lands behind you and cuts you off, that could be a really bad time. So I still think it's anyone's game, but I would definitely agree that the build is favoring Pontus.
And also, if he gets a good civilian spy network here with his intelligence agency, then Sticky might be able to see the route that Pontus is taking. And then if he puts a couple of anti-tank into his infantry divisions, it will be significantly harder for Pontus to push through his line.
Yeah, I would say a lot hinges on Sticky's infantry's ability to receive Pontus's tanks, because if they are able to hold his tanks, then the tanks are null and void, basically. And if they are not, then we could be looking at a very quick game.
Yeah, he is building anti-tank, though. Only one factory, though. He is focused towards the submarines with his dockyards and some convoys. I would imagine he is trying to take Gotland.
Yeah, Sticky does have some piercing in his divisions because he's got the anti-tank as a support company. So he's up to 36 piercing now, which is not too bad at all, actually. I'm not sure if we have any tanks out just yet for Pontus here. No, it doesn't look like it. So we can't really compare if that's enough. But yeah, it's a lot better than nothing. He's not completely unprepared for the tank attack.
And the military factory count is 28 to 21 for the Allied side, so there's a lot more equipment coming out from the Allied side right now, and we're 93 days to the war.
But looking at the civilian factories, though, he's ahead in 10 civilian factories, so the longer this game goes, the more it favors Sticky.
Yeah.
But also, as we said before, Pontus is now in the final arms industry expansion here, which means he gets 4 military factories. Meanwhile, since Sticky has transitioned into that, he is only getting 3.
Isn't he getting 8 military factories? 4 plus 4.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So he's getting 8 more military factories. Sticky is trailing him, but he's going down the same route, so yeah, he'll get those 8, but like 1.5 months later.
And I wonder what general trait he is going to go here, because these are only 10-day focuses, the general traits. So he can pick one of those, and then he can immediately go towards like School of Attack or School of Defense, so he gets attack and planning on his generals as well.
Yeah, these are all really good, those focuses down here.
Yeah.
I mean, Shukov is really good as he is as well. Like, he already has 5 attack.
So the war starts in 80 days.
Indeed, it does.
You see now Sticky is getting his paratroopers up and running. Still no attack plans ready for them, but seem to be positioned towards Scotland.
Interesting, though, that Pontus is going not for the 5th Guards Mechanized, where he gets mechanized divisions with medium tank support. Instead, he's going to IS program, which gives him 150 units of advanced tank destroyers.
Yeah, he's not going to have much use for tank destroyers.
Yeah, that was that's what I was thinking. Like, that might be a tactical mistake, because he goes the tank route, but if he goes tank destroyers instead of medium tanks, then I mean, obviously the tank destroyers are still going to push infantry, but it's a lot of wasted potential.
Yeah.
Is he going for heavy tanks? No, I don't really. Yeah, I don't really see the point in taking that focus.
He gets quite a good production cost bonus for medium tanks after that, minus 25%. But and that production efficiency base plus 10%, which is good, but still, I would rather have units in the field early than waiting.
Yeah. Then again, like, considering the focus that Sticky went, he might be able to get away with not having that much units in the field, considering he went Navy.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Pontus is going generally for a higher impact early plan, but this focus he just picked, it speaks in the other direction.
He also picked a political advisor that reduces consumer goods factor by 15%, and he has gotten more civilian factories. So he might actually be trying to leverage the civilian factories.
Yeah. See what advisor Sticky is going for. He's also going for the consumer goods, political power gain, and military factory construction. And both of them are just constructing military factories and have been doing so since the beginning. Boppus approves.
Yeah, I would imagine.
So we still don't know what Pontus is picking here for his next focus. He seems to be deliberating a bit.
Yeah, we have soon final arms industry expansion done from Sticky here, and he will be able to get that finished before the war, and he will also probably be able to finish the 10-day focus for a general trait as well. So yeah, it will be interesting to see how they square up. He has a couple of paratroopers out now as well.
Yeah, 6 of them.
Indeed, he does, and I wonder if he will be able to get air supremacy though.
Yeah, let's have a look at the air situation. So there are some. He's got 300 fighters and about 50 transport planes. Looks like the fighters are arrayed Western Poland, Lower Baltic Sea, and Upper Baltic Sea. So he's trying to take control of the sea zones and his home territory in the beginning.
Yeah.
And here we see the paratroop landing order. It's going.
He is going to take Gotland by paratroops and not by navy.
Which is the quickest way to go.
Yeah, obviously it is, but I'm still very interested why he actually picked the naval focus instead of going the Imperial Japanese Army.
Yeah.
He does get 2 times 50% cost reduction for Grand Battle Plan Doctrine, so he might have picked just that one, and then he goes towards something else. But
he still hasn't picked any naval focuses, so no big ships here just yet. Having a look at Pontus's navy, this is actually stronger. So Pontus's navy is actually a lot stronger right now because he has the battleship out, and he also has, I saw now, tanks.
Yeah, 5th tank.
Yeah,
this is a very interesting pick here from Sticky though. He is going the middle route even, so he is going carrier through the straits, so he will get a fleet with 3 aircraft carriers.
Okay, that's interesting.
That's a very interesting pick because then he can dominate the air from the sea if that works out to his advantage.
I got some intel on the Sticky's troops here. They can't pierce the armor of Pontus.
Yeah, and Pontus is also going, he has gone 5th Guards Mechanized, and now he's also going 2nd Tank Corps, so he is going to have 132 with Heavy Tank Division and 2 Mechanized Divisions with Medium Tank Support. And I mean, it's good to have 2 carriers on the sea with some planes, but if you're facing up against heavy tanks on the front, that's not going to be very nice anyway.
3 carriers even.
Yeah, and I mean, that's going to dominate the seas. By the looks of things now, Sticky is going to have no problem taking Gotland and completely dominating the naval game, but is that going to win him the game? Doubtful.
Yeah, the question is how well can these infantry units fight against the tanks? We see a few here under strength. He just pushed them out to be ready when the war starts, and the war is starting soon in just 12 days. 13,
he doesn't have any anti-tank in them, so yeah.
No anti-tank as of yet, no.
Oh, didn't he? Not on the. He does have. He's got anti-tank in the support companies.
In the 20 with infantry division, he does have anti-tank, but he has a lot of his infantry is still the original 10 with division, and he is very under strength in the big divisions.
Yeah.
It's only 37% strength in most of the infantry divisions that are equipped with anti-tank capabilities. Meanwhile, the only ones that are at 100% strength is the original 12 with only infantry, and those are just going to get rolled over by Pontus's tanks.
Yeah, let's go and check for Pontus's 18 infantry divisions, because they are Space Marines now with heavy tanks. So heavy tank Space Marines gaining a lot of armor.
That's really interesting. So suddenly these infantry divisions are really beefy. He's
Yeah.
been building them up slowly, and they are not at full strength, but they do seem to be at better strength than Sticky. So it's a superior army that's coming down from the north now to face Sticky as the war kicks off.
And indeed, the war has kicked off.
Sticky's horses are hurrying up from Memel, and they will probably get there first if they just put a move on. But he's not moving them manually. He's letting the battle plans do most of the moving for him. I would have just right-clicked Memel straight away because now Pontus reaches Memel first.
Yeah. He did manage to. The Sticky managed to route the horse though at Memel, so he might actually be able to seize a foothold on the other side of the river here.
Yeah. At the same time, though, in the south, the tanks are moving in so far.
And we have a small surround.
Yeah, one of the horses here
probably dead.
Might get it. Let's see. The tanks are trying to move in to help, but yeah, they've managed.
Yeah, they managed.
Yeah, but they need supply now. They really need to stay to supply hubs. And
the south seems to be falling to Pontus, the southeast of the map here. But already it's split quite evenly. The last piece up for grabs here is in the south. Both
Pontus is quicker here, and it will be interesting to see whether Sticky fires this landing operation now. He has taken
landed.
Gotland.
Yeah, Gotland is taken without opposition. So yeah, the south is still undecided who gets it. Heavy fighting on the front in the north. Still undecided. We see both green and red bubbles mixed up here. Although now it's looking mostly in the red for Sticky. So Sticky's losing up in the north, but he's holding out in the south.
He has gone for the marine focus, though. I can see now he has 2 veteran marine divisions that are rather scary, standing in Gleiwitz here, and he is probably going to use those to push across the river. I don't think he's going to naval invade with them.
Yep, they are moving up to the line. Yeah, he realizes that he may be a bit outgunned, and he needs more stuff on the line. Let's see, what are they going for? He's going for 2 elite infantry divisions after that. And Pontus, on the other hand, is going for steel mountains, which gives him
he's going to just clean out all of this focuses and take the Marshal of Victory in order to get more power at the front. Also, Ring of Steel means that he can go to extensive conscription in case he would run into manpower issues. Nothing of that yet, but...
Yeah, and as it stands right now, Pontus is winning because he controls the majority of the victory points. So Sticky's points have started to tick down. And at the moment, doesn't seem like Sticky has an answer for this slow but steady push.
We have
he is doing some counterattacks.
Yeah, look at the paratroops in Gotland. I don't think it will be enough to take Tallinn, but it's a fun move nonetheless.
Oh, it's interesting to say the least. He must have built that airport because I didn't see it before. Or maybe it was there all along. Yeah, so he is definitely going to land somewhere, but what will they do once they land? The garrison here should be enough to defend, I guess. But it could definitely irritate.
Might see an encirclement here. We have one of Pontus's tanks are in dire straits.
Oh yeah, he might get cut off at the route.
Is that
there.
One of the heavy ones? Yeah, that's the heavy tank template. So if this gets encircled, that's going to really hurt Pontus. He's trying to retreat out though, and he probably will get out, it seems.
Yeah, I don't think Sticky has enough room there to actually hunt down and kill this heavy tank. The medium tank is coming from the south now to help as well.
Yeah, and you see also, also Sticky really tried to do something here. He pressed force attack and everything in order to try to get that heavy tank out of the game, but did not manage. And that loses him a lot of equipment.
But you see how, if we look at the battles, the Allied Space Marines can't get pierced by the axes, and that's a huge part, I would say, in Pontus' favor. That most of his infantry will only receive half damage.
Yeah, he really needs to stabilize, consolidate, realize that he has most of the victory points, and just hold on. And he seems to have the better build. Sticky is holding fast though. No big movement on the line.
We do have a naval invasion of Tallinn here.
Here comes the paratroopers have landed, but they are instantly being surrounded and killed. Yeah.
Yeah, a bit of a Hail Mary from Sticky there, but he won't be able to reinforce this.
Yeah, that's the kind of move you could. That's the kind of move you could pull at the group stage. But now we're in the semifinals, and people are getting wise to those tricks now.
Yeah, that's a gamble that didn't pay off, and that, I mean, he has put some production towards those paratroopers. You don't really want to sacrifice 6 paratroopers for nothing. He does have Gotland though, and now he has he only has Gotland though. So
yeah,
considering the other victory points, it's in the hands of Pontus now. He has 4 of them, so the ticking is going even faster now.
Yeah, and the Axis has taken a lot more damage. They have lost 45k and allies lost 15k. So, yeah, I think our projections were pretty sound that the allies would be in favor in the early war.
Yeah, and it seems like Pontus has realized that he doesn't really need to do anything. He just needs to hold on. So that's what he's doing. And what's coming up on the production line? 20 wins, the Space Marine variant, and some 10 wins. So he's just trying to push out more infantry. Right now, though, he's massively in the hole with an 8k deficit because he pushed out a bunch of troops that weren't trained already. So it'll take a while for his shortage to get better.
Yeah, as of now, a bit of a lull in the front. We see Marshal of Victory being pushed here by Pontus, so he will get a lot stronger in 24 days with 10% division speed, 10% motorized attack, mechanized attack, and armor division attack. So that is going to be very dangerous for Sticky. Meanwhile, he doesn't have a focus chosen at the moment, but he has gone for Banzai, which increases his recruitable population, which is sorely needed because he only has 6k manpower at this point.
Oh yeah, wow.
So things are looking very grim for Sticky here in this deciding game.
He's at just 8k manpower and already extensive conscription, but I guess it's ticking up.
Yeah, he is trying to rectify that obviously by going the focuses he does, but it's more reactive than proactive, so to speak, with trying to get this manpower up. Meanwhile, Pontus is just going the focuses that buffs up his tanks.
I think Sticky really is feeling the heat right now since he doesn't have any focus. He's not even using his military factory count. Has 6 not producing, 7 not producing. So even though he's ahead in military factories, he's not using them.
Yeah.
So
and if you have a look at the Battle of Lyck here, I think this is very telling for what the rest of the game will be like. Sticky is attacking with everything he has, basically, like his 2 strong marine units, trying to push for all he's worth into Pontus here, and Pontus is just holding. These heavy tanks in his infantry divisions makes them so strong. He's not even moving to reinforce because those 2 guys will just hold all of this back.
Yeah. He did sink 5 destroyers though outside Gotland. So
we have a naval battle. Yeah, look at the naval battle.
Yeah. Just ended.
Yeah, the Navy game is in favor of Sticky, as it should be considering he went the naval focus. But once again, as we said before, like, what if you go the naval focus and your opponent don't, as in this case?
Yeah, exactly. And now everything is quiet on the Eastern Front.
Yeah, indeed, and we have 4 victory points in the hands of Pontus, only 1 in the hands of Sticky, so Sticky really needs to do something if he is not going to lose this game eventually, and Pontus is probably quite content sitting here, much like last game. We have 2 much more safe players, I would say. in Pontus and Sticky, because when we saw Mako Ivan, you never saw these types of dragged out fights. But
see an attempted landing in Riga, but Riga, of course, is defended, so this won't go anywhere.
He probably needs to. He probably needs to naval invade with his marines in order to do something. Like the paratroopers probably will not work out for these types of landings.
But he
managed to land in Riga. That's crazy.
He did.
I guess 4 paratroopers is enough to beat one small garrison division. He's trying to ship troops over.
But he has no strength on those paratroopers.
Yeah, but they are holding, though. They are holding.
Yeah, he is popping last stand.
Here come the reinforcements.
Popping a last stand there.
But they are, of course, without org, as they just landed into a battle. And now the submarines are harrying the... ouch.
He tried to leverage the Navy game, but...
No.
It's... might be able to hold for a little while. I mean, at this point, Sticky needs to ship in everything he's got here. This is his one road to victory here.
He should ship in everything he's got into Riga. I'm not so
sure. The thing is, if he just continues circle attack, these guys will never regain organization. So if he just keeps these attacks going,
Yeah, probably it would have been very unwise to ship in everything he's got to Riga.
But now they're actually regaining organization. This is really good. They will keep Riga.
He moved back.
Yeah,
he did a mistake on Pontus' part there. I would say he should have
finished off. Could have really finished them off there.
Yeah.
Okay, so now he does have a vulnerability in the back line, but Sticky's attacking all across the line.
And there's a lot of green bubbles actually.
It's actually making some inroads in a couple of places.
Pontus is going towards civilian factories this late in the game. So
Pontus is in trouble. His line is about to collapse.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is Sticky is really pushing here now, and he has gotten. He has expanded his arms industry. It doesn't have that much focus really towards this, but things are looking.
Speaking of focuses, Sticky hasn't chosen a focus in quite some time, and he also has 3 military factories. So he's slipping on the macro. It's quite a lot of military factories, actually. 14 military factories not being used. Okay, so Pontus just popped the cipher of Sticky, which should give him a bit of an advantage, but and he is stopping Sticky right now. The attack is stopping.
The line is holding, and while Sticky dominates at sea and will probably manage to hold Riga for a little while longer, I don't see how he's going to claw his way back into this game when he's not piercing the tanks of Pontus.
We have a green bubble in the north. That's probably the best news that Sticky can focus on right now, and it's turning... there's a tank going there, so it should be stopped.
Yeah, but I still would say that Pontus' plan on just staying on the front line, waiting out this game, was a wrong move. He should have just, when he was steamrolling, continued to steamroll with his tanks and try to actually make some more damage.
Have a look at the losses, though. Attacking into forest and defended positions like this, it's really costing Sticky.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. But it is Sticky that needs to do something here. I mean, it is the deciding game. He is down by 2 victory points, just ticking down. He has trouble with manpower. He is going for great harmony now in the focus tree, which is battleships and heavy cruisers, which, I mean, is not going to save him at this point.
No, but I would say if he would have used all these military factories, because now he has 20 idle military factories for the Axis, that's a huge deal, because he's way ahead in military factories, but he's not utilizing it. And I for one have a bad micro and would have done the exact same mistakes as happening right there. But it's
always easy to be a wise ass when you're sitting in the observer chair. Me and Victor know all too well.
Yeah, indeed. But also, as was said in the chat here by Mako, Riga has a lot of factories, so that's probably the ones that he is not utilizing, because he has managed to chunk off a bit of a military factory count for Pontus here by taking Riga.
That's 6 military factories.
Yeah.
And the front is really unstable right now. But Sticky is in a lot of trouble. If you just look at the organization of the troops, there we go. Good game.
Yeah, the front was falling.
So we have a winner. Pontus beat Sticky 2-1, and we are heading to the finals where we will have Pontus versus Mako. So stay tuned for the big final of the Hygge Gaming leg of this tournament, the Commanders in Conflict, where the finals, our representatives will be sent to the finals being played this Thursday until Saturday, so the 7th until the 9th of November. That's when the finals are. So the game is over. I'm not really sure why I'm still in the game. Might as well go out. And hoping for a quick host. Maybe Mako has already hosted, if we're lucky. No idea what those names are. I'm gonna... Okay, he's got a game. He's got an ID.
Yeah, so while waiting on the game, as we saw here, we had Pontus beating Sticky 2-1. Really exciting games. Mako, Ivan, really quick games from them. So we have Mako and Pontus in our group finals, going out to actually get into the quarterfinals of the entire tournament. So I think this will be really interesting. And Mako, he will play fast. I don't think he will go for the play style that we've seen here with static front lines. I think he will try to rush things. And I hope Pontus continues with his more rush build that he did this game. And we will have a really exciting final.
Yeah, so far, what we've seen from Pontus, he's been really good at defending himself from these sneaky attacks, both the naval invasions and the parrot drops. None of those have been really vastly successful because, he's really been good at doing the harbor defense.
Yeah.
So we have a game if you join up, guys.
Indeed.
Yes, we will.
The players are in the game, so we're just waiting for...
Belly? Is that the one?
Opus. No, join on the ID from the messenger chat.
Okay, I have a game crash.
Okay.
The thing is, I wasn't supposed to cast the finals. I'm talking a lot. Should I just remove myself, since you guys, I think you're ahead of this, and I can just sit in the technician's chair.
I think it's nice to have you. I think it's nice to have you with us. It's hard to find things to talk about all the time in this game, especially in the build-up phase. So I wouldn't mind having you remain.
Yeah, we like you, Don. We need you to elaborate on the factories and stuff.
I'm thankful for that. I'm mostly thinking about the audience.
You want the audience to not have to listen to you anymore.
I'll stay. I feel convinced.
Okay, so we're waiting for you to rejoin.
Okay, I need to do something with this. Because now we don't have Pontus versus Sticky anymore. I have some work to do there.
So from the looks of the map right now, we are looking at North Africa again. So we might have a North Africa game, which means quite narrow playing field, bad supply, and lots of water above it. So possibilities for a naval game. 2 victory points out in the ocean, Crete and Malta. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, and I'm trying to join.
Yeah.
Fetch the ID.
Nice.
Couldn't you just invite me with some clicks of a button?
Guess I could have. Are we Steam friends?
Yeah, I found it there.
Yeah, I'm not finding you.
Yep.
So we're looking at North Africa, and we have Mako on the Allied side and Pontus on the Axis side.
Indeed, we do, and it will be interesting to see Pontus on the Axis side here. We saw Pontus was really not the player that utilized the naval strategies in the earlier games. It was always Sticky that did naval invasions of different islands and stuff like that. So Pontus has really not shown a big interest in the naval game so far. Then again, neither has Mako. So it will be interesting to see if they do anything with the islands here.
Yeah, we did see Pontus in the first game having a bit of a navy, but we never saw any big naval battles happening there. So yeah, it would be interesting to see. It would be nice to have at least one big naval battle this evening.
Yeah, we did see some walkover naval battles there last game, but
yes, we're
and
asking
we will
the
see
players.
Also when we have speed 4 now. Mako is more used to speed 4, I would say, than Pontus, considering the earlier games. But Pontus never really slipped that much on the macro, so he will probably be able to handle it.
Okay, so now we see the choices of factions here, and they get to ban one faction for the opposing team.
Yeah, we have seen a ban going out for the Luftwaffe ground forces pretty much every game, so I would imagine that would be a very meta pick otherwise. But we have seen a lot of the 5th Guards tank army going out, being banned and being played. US Marine Corps banned this time.
And the Luftwaffe ground forces, they seem to be a popular ban choice.
Yeah, I think so. That has been the go-to every game. I think it's been banned. Otherwise, I think the Marine Corps has been banned before as well, but
yeah,
not every game.
Yeah, so they must be strong choices then, since we see them being banned all the time. Okay, so Mako is going immediately on the industry tree, and
indeed he is.
Hasn't yet chosen a focus. I think I might take the opportunity to run quickly to the bathroom, and I'll be right back.
Sounds like a smart idea.
If you switch over to my view, then we can keep looking at our different players here. We do, as we said before, we have Mako here on the Allied side, and we have Pontus on the Axis side. And we are back to North Africa this time, which means there are deserts, there's low supply, a thin but long front line, and some hills outside Tunis here. And that is pretty much what we're going to see here. So probably a shift from this broad front with tanks and infantry and more towards small concentrated pushes along the coastline here. And we might also see, or we will probably see, a return of the naval game here. Both Malta and the western part of Crete is going to play large roles in order to supply the armies going from Alexandria and Casablanca, respectively, towards the middle of North Africa here. And the victory points we have to play for this game is Malta, Benghazi, Sirte, Chania, and Gab. Would that be the pronunciation?
Gab, yeah, I think Gab is in the south of Tunis.
Gab, because the apostrophe is on the other way. It's the same with the goat cheese. Yeah. You know?
So we have 2 at sea. We have Chania and Malta. So 2 of the victory points are at sea. So yeah, Navy is going to be really important.
And that's also interesting because this time the Navy game is even in that sense. Because the last game, if you took Gotland, then you had a victory point edge. And if you took Havana, then you had a victory point edge. But now you have 2 naval victory points. So the Axis have a closer proximity to Malta, and the Allies have a closer proximity to Crete. So the naval game will probably be more even. If both of the factions goes some sort of naval, though, because otherwise we will see a walkover in that sense, as well as we have seen in the earlier games.
Yeah, and the Axis are going for Imperial Japanese military, so might be going for some kind of naval build then?
Yeah, they are opening up for a naval build here. Pontus going for the Imperial Japanese military there, and I wonder if they are going to go Navy though, because the army focuses are quite nice as well for the African theater, considering you have the bicycle infantry, for example, which is not much to write home about if they meet a tank on the front, but take considerably less supply.
Yeah, and there's a lot of land to cover. So if you have quick troops, you will be able to get the front line where you want to have the front line.
Yeah, and I mean there is really not a lot of rivers here, for example, or any natural defenses, so to speak. So if you are able to be faster than your opponent, you can really leverage that here. If you did that on the last map, then you would have much bigger issues keeping your foothold, so to speak, because there are natural defense lines.
Yeah.
But we will see how it pans out. We have industry focus going out from Mako here. And
that seems spontaneously like the better strategy. I mean, what's the advantage of going directly for your faction when you can get those industrial focuses in just a bit earlier? You get 4 civilian factories, and you want them as quick as possible.
Yeah, I would agree, to be honest. I mean, there are probably some niche uses. For example, if you're able to reach one of the later focuses earlier than your opponent, for example, as we saw Marshal of Victory last game, if you have a static front line and you get that 10% division speed, armor division attack 40 days earlier than your opponent, those 40 days can be turned into a victory, I imagine. But in general, as in a grand game, industry is good early.
Yeah, because I mean, Pontus will surely go for those industrial focuses as well, just a bit later, and they will get the later military focuses at the same time. The difference being that Mako has had his civ for a bit longer, and they've been doing a bit more building. So I'd say that's the stronger opening.
Yeah, and also the research bonuses, because as we said before, the first industrialized focus here gives you 3 times 100% research bonus for industry. So you really kind of square your bonuses, so to speak, because you reach the machine tools, dispersed industry, and those things considerably earlier than your opponent, which means you can leverage that industrial advantage even more.
Yeah, and Mako is going for 2 industrial techs straight away, so he won't be using the bonuses on these ones, but he could use them on the level 2. So he could get the level 2 ahead of time, I guess. No, wait, nothing is ahead of time because it's 37, 39 tech, and we are at 1940.
For some reason right now we have an echo on you. Or at least I have
the echo as well.
I wonder why.
Yeah.
I'll
game
try
is
to check it
started
out.
though. We have the agency created from Mako. He has gone agency very early, both games, or all of the games, and he is done with the first industry.
Yeah, he's going for the defensive, passive defense.
Yeah, probably. And he is now going down to expanding the arms industry. Meanwhile, on the Axis side, we do have Pontus going Navy. So Pontus is taking up the naval game this battle.
Oh, he must have been inspired by Sticky in the last game then.
Yeah, seems like it. I mean, he did lose a game to Sticky because Sticky just controlled an island. And if you have learned anything from our grand games, you can really get static front lines in North Africa if the game pans out that way.
Yeah.
But looking at production, for example, you see the same air and different researches going out as last time. Infantry equipment, truck support. 1 dockyard put onto destroyers, but only convoys otherwise thus far. Nothing in the research, but he is working up those saved days.
Yeah, he just finished a wave of research, so let's see what he picks here next. He's going for
he's probably waiting for the research bonus for the industry, meanwhile saving up days. And on the other side of the front, continuous arms industry expansion coming out from Mako.
Yeah.
And
I still don't know.
I really like the Mako's opening here. He is going for dispersed industry. I was actually wondering last games why they went for concentrated, because you're going to expand fast, you're going to get a lot of military factories, you want them up and running as soon as possible. So I really like him going dispersed and going straight for the military factories. So he will have an edge in the early war.
And paratroopers.
Yeah, interesting. But this is probably one of those maps where paratroopers can really come into play if you utilize them correctly. And also you can take the islands faster with paratroopers, as we saw last game.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
And we do see 10 military factories on infantry equipment and 2 on towed artillery for Mako. Meanwhile, on the Axis side, we do see a production that is much more diversified, going into trucks, support equipment, artillery, some anti-air even. So Mako is building up his offensive capabilities here with a surplus in infantry equipment, or a deficit at the moment because of the training, but still.
And if you look at Mako's recruits tab right now, he's building a bunch of infantry divisions.
Yeah, indeed, he's just churning those out. I wonder if he's made any changes to them yet. He has not.
No, he has not, but he probably will, since he's building at least some artillery.
And I mean, he has not shown his cards yet either. He has only gone industry, so we still don't know what faction focus that Mako is going to pick here. Meanwhile, we do know that Pontus is going for some sort of naval build. Then it remains to be seen whether he will go marine or carrier or whatever. But I'm still quite doubtful about this, because the last focus of the naval tree for the Imperial Japanese Navy is still very much invasion defense, naval bombing, fleet coordination. I don't really see how that is going to come into play. Then again, modern Bushido, I guess, is quite nice, but it's still war support and division recovery rate, so it's nothing extraordinary either.
Yeah.
We have Red Army coming out for Mako here. So
that's interesting.
Yeah.
So far from his production, it seems like he's going more infantry heavy. Yeah, he's got towed rocket artillery coming as well. So it seems like he's going for infantry with lots of soft attack.
Yeah, this is it's looking like an infantry build indeed. Let's see if he goes. Yeah, he's going third shock army here, so he's going to go down like rifle corps, maybe VDV for paratroopers, because if he goes VDV, he will get quite good paratroopers instead of your everyday run-of-the-mill
crappy paratroopers. Yeah.
And that might be a bit of a mind game as well, so to speak, because probably Mako has been, maybe Mako has been seeing the other games now since he has not participated, and you might get fooled by all of these sacrifices of crap paratrooper divisions, and then suddenly they're beefy, you know.
Yeah, and especially in urban terrain, they can really defend well. They're probably the best defenders for urban terrain.
It remains to be seen whether he goes into the VDV focus though, or if he is. Yeah, he is. He is rushing towards good paratroopers.
And that focus also gives him transport planes, so he won't have to build his own transport planes.
Yeah, this is looking interesting. We are seeing tactics that we have not seen before, so it's looking to be a different game from the earlier ones.
Yeah, and again, we see Pontus going, well, not again, last time was sticky, but he's going for the carrier focus. So we will see 3 aircraft carriers, and that should put the naval advantage squarely on the side of Pontus.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, if you go Imperial Japanese Navy and go for like the carriers, you are just going to win at sea. But at this point, like, I mean, this is such a long front, so the carriers might actually be a play here, because in the last map, for example, when we looked up here, it's much shorter, the front, where you can really strike from your carriers. If you manage to set up a carrier fleet here, then you can really dominate the air just through sheer proximity, because there's not a lot of airfields around here to use.
Yeah, and blessedly, we were going on speed 4 just now, but now we're back to speed 3, so maybe that's the lag.
Yeah, it might be, but we have war kicking off in just 65 days.
Yeah.
And that's beautiful. That's a beautiful short build-up phase compared to the last game.
Indeed. But we're going to see now, because Mako is going to be one focus behind in his faction tree compared to Pontus, or almost one focus behind. If Pontus goes another faction focus, though, we don't know that, but
yeah, we will see. Has Pontus finished his military factories yet?
I'm looking at what he's building here. He has made his infantry division 10 with, and he has made a copy of it with anti-tank, artillery.
Yeah, it's a 20
with support anti-air and support artillery.
So he's going for the Marine focus now, so he's going to have 2 good divisions at least of Marines.
Yeah, interesting to see how this pans out and how he is able to synchronize that with the carrier fleet, for example. Looking over at the templates of Mako here, we do have the VDV paratroopers here with cavalry recon detachment, regular paratroopers, actually 2 combat with too small, so he needs to expand the shit paratroopers with 2 combat with in order to adhere to the rules. So perhaps we can alert him to that.
So I wrote in the game chat, but no guarantee that they've seen it.
Yeah, it probably won't be that impactful, but it is important to adhere to the rules. He is now going the focus of armored trains, which is going to give him winter attrition minus 50% and supply consumption minus 50%, and also 15% increased supply range, which can be really nice here in this map.
I think it's the supply consumption here that Mako is looking at, and of course not the winter restriction as we're looking at North Africa. But yeah, that could be really significant. 15% less supply, that means you can have 15% more troops on the line compared to your... I'm hearing my voice.
Yeah, are you in Discord or something like that?
I think not.
Might be. Meanwhile, while Petter fixes his voice, we do see the troops moving up to the front line here. We have a war going in 30 days. No focus on the side of Mako here. He is probably saving up his days, but the ones you have to choose between is 79th Rifle Corps, which gives 2 infantry divisions, 10 militia divisions, 10 with, or air experience and some variants of bomber planes that he can use for close range air support. And on the Axis side, under the command of Pontus, he is going Great Harmony now, which is a battleship and 2 heavy cruisers. So he is really putting his eggs in the naval basket here, and he's going all the way to Crete.
Yeah, he thinks he needs more boats. Let's have a look at Mako's fleet. Mako does have a fleet. It's 1 battleship and 3 cruisers, like we saw before, and a bunch of screens. But this is nothing compared to Pontus's fleet, of course.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to get beaten by Pontus's fleet. We see, though, that he's preparing paratrooper invasions of the front and also of Crete. So he is going to be able to reach Crete before Pontus, but if Pontus takes his elite marine divisions and puts them into the naval invasion of Crete, then he's going to be in trouble, which he probably will, right? And these are good marine divisions. You have support artillery, you have an engineer company, and we have 1 going towards Crete, and we have 4 transports going towards Malta, which is probably I would imagine 1 elite marine to each island and some support troops for Malta, if I were to guess.
And those elite marines should be enough to take care of even the better types of paratroopers that Mako has.
Yeah, indeed. And Great Harmony is finished here, so we will see which will be the next focus for Pontus. But war is breaking out in just 9 days, so soon we will have some war focuses going on. We see here that Mako has already triggered his paratroopers to execute the battle orders, and he is now going for arming the local militias actually, which is interesting because it gives
Give him
10.
Some,
yeah, like meat for the front line, I guess, but also infantry equipment, which can be really nice, I imagine.
And look at that. Every month we will receive 1,000 infantry equipment from our allies. So it's actually a focus that keeps on giving and just keeps on giving infantry equipment. That's really strong.
And I mean, at this point, he already has a surplus of 5,000 infantry equipment, though. But once you meet the enemy on the battlefield, that number is going to go down.
And we are at
quickly.
war.
We are indeed at war. And the paratroopers have not kicked off yet. I would imagine that he's lacking the air supremacy that he needs here.
Yeah.
We see the naval invasions. I'm interesting to see how this is going to go.
He's sending out his planes now. Mako is, so the paratroopers.
Yeah, Mako has landed in Crete, and that is going to be the first battle of the war, probably. Mako's freshly landed paratroopers versus the Marines of Pontus here. And if this is the VDV paratroopers, it will be interesting to see how they hold out. It probably is not, though.
I think
be interesting.
It's not. It is not.
Yeah, this is probably going to go in the favor of Pontus, but not by a huge margin.
And Mako is taking a lot of terrain on the mainland.
Yeah, indeed, he is. If we put it over to Mako's perspective here, he is stabilizing the front line considerably closer towards Pontus than the other way around, probably due to the both the paradrops and the faster infantry that he has. But it will be interesting to see what happens here in Crete. It is, 5 days, 4 days, and Crete is going to fall to the Marines of Pontus, I think.
Unfortunately for Pontus, though, Crete is not a victory point.
Indeed, it is not. Malta is, though, however. So he is already having a small lead in the victory points. And now we are going to see the front here, because Mako's front is quite drawn out here. He might be in risk of getting encircled
very out
here.
of supply. Yeah, he's got a lot of troops there who are at great risk. But he's pinning and doing his due diligence, so he should be fine.
Yeah, indeed, and this is also the VDV troops here, so this is actually quite a bad division to lose. But now he has been able to reinforce, so he probably will not get encircled there.
Yeah, he should be fine for now. Mako is planning. No, that's an old order. The naval invasion is still going.
Yeah, indeed it is, and it has been dragging out for quite some time. But in 2 days, less than 1 day, and Crete will fall to the naval invasion of Pontus. And the front has stabilized a bit. And I wonder if Pontus will be able to leverage Crete if he gets it, because it has been ticking down quite.
Yeah, this is really close.
Yeah, it's very close, actually. These little paratroopers are, no, it is red now. So the naval invasion of Crete is looking like it will fail, actually. Yeah, and I mean, it's not.
Oh, wow.
It's not a disaster for Pontus, but considering how much effort he put into the Navy game, he probably did not want that to happen. And now Mako has wisened up to his plan. So I do imagine that Mako is going to reinforce Crete with some chunkier divisions. And it doesn't matter if you win at sea if you can't win at land.
Yeah.
There are some real back and forth slogs now on the front down in North Africa. They're going really back and forth. Both of them are really low on supplies. Especially Mako has a big supply problem. Otherwise, I think his troops would carry the day.
Yeah, I mean, Mako did get the longer front line, but that's both a blessing and a curse, so to speak, because you are extending your supply lines very far. But he did manage to keep Crete, because otherwise we would see convoy raiding probably coming from Pontus. But
Mako just finished a focus giving him 20 submarines. So he's giving Pontus a bit of a run for his money on the Navy side there.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Red October adds 20 submarines. So you get some naval focuses there in the middle. Now he's going for the rifle corps, which gives his line artillery 15% soft attack.
We should go down and look at the battles here. I'm not really sure what Pontus is doing. This is really, really
Crazy.
Yeah,
really
this
crazy,
is a very, very daring
it's
snake.
It's also really interesting because you see that Mako has really no supply in there. It's really low supply, which means
you could see Pontus was considering moving back with his horse, and then he was like, "No, I'm going forward instead." But now he's trying to retreat.
But Pontus is putting everything on the line here. But if he manages to succeed here, then Mako is in dire straits indeed.
One infantry division retreated in the wrong direction there, so he might just get encircled now.
We do have. We do have.
It's one.
Mako, a counter encirclement there, and Pontus have lost one division.
That was way too daring.
That was a bit of a reckless charge by Pontus there, I would say.
But Mako is vulnerable now, though, as his troops are so low in supply. So this could actually still be a possibility for Pontus to make some moves here.
Pontus should probably walk into this airfield also. It's completely undefended at this point, and if he takes this little airfield, he can start to dominate the air here. I don't know how the air game really looks. Red over Crete, but otherwise nothing. Red from the perspective of Pontus, that being. So Mako is winning in the air game, but only at one air zone.
Mako is also pushing out the railways like crazy right now, so to increase his supply. So he will fix those supply problems, and then I think we'll have the army edge there.
But if you have a look at the amount of railroads he needs to build, and then the amount of civilian factories to build them,
that's quite a lot. That is indeed quite a lot, and that means that he can't build military factories with those civilian factories. But Crete is now quite heavily reinforced here. Pontus probably will not be able to take Crete at this point. Maybe if he goes with both his marines, but doubtful. He hasn't executed the naval plan yet, but.
Yeah, he really wants to take Crete, but Mako is defending it quite heavily as well.
Yeah, and with the submarines now, if we look at the Navy overview, for example, here, we do see. We do see actually Pontus is winning the Navy war still, as he should, considering his focus towards the naval focuses. But yeah.
Yeah, the main navy of Mako is a bit wounded. At least his capital ships are a bit wounded. I'm not really sure what happened there. Maybe some submarines. He doesn't have an admiral on his main fleet, though.
Yeah, that's a bit of an oversight indeed. We do see some pushes going on along the front. Mako is pushing out one tile here near Tripoli, failing another push. But now it's looking better for Mako on both these tiles here.
Yeah. He does seem to have the advantage right now. He's not building any new troops, even though he does have some equipment in his stockpile. He could push out some more stuff, but I guess he needs to reinforce what he already has in the field.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Looking at the manpower, none of the sides are having any considerable issues at this point. No focus going on at the moment from Pontus here, but he has gone for 2 elite infantry divisions. Now he's going Tokyo Express, which gives a political advisor which increases special forces cap. So he is continuing with his naval shenanigans, and now we see another attempt at a naval invasion at Greece, but it is or Crete, I mean, but it's not going to work out for Pontus.
Yeah, and I really have to question that focus of Crete there. I mean, I guess you could take the... no, you can't even take the airbase on Crete because that's neutral territory.
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, you could probably island hop down to Benghazi or stuff like that. But I mean, looking over at Mako's perspective here, we see that he has wisened up to that. He has reinforced all of his ports along the line, and those are as well defended as Crete is. So even if Pontus were to take Crete, what is he really going to do with it at that point?
And Mako, of course, finished the focus Stalin's organs. So here he has the motorized rocket artillery heading towards the front.
Yeah, and now he's going towards... He's going towards the chain breaker here as well, which is going to give like reinforcement rate and encirclement penalty minus, and also a railway gun, which he can use to break through the front. So he is building up for a frontline push here, especially considering his construction of railroads, which he has removed now, however, but he does have a little railroad going all the way up to the front here. So. But looking at supply map mode, it's looking a bit grim at front.
Yeah,
it's moving.
Yeah, Pontus should really try to push now, but he doesn't really have anything to push with.
Looking at the naval battle here, we do see an engagement going on. Nothing too crazy. Over at Pontus' perspective, he is also out of supply on one of the tiles, but he should probably push like one of these weaker out of supply tiles, but now Mako once again has supply, so now it's going to be considerably harder.
Yeah, his railroads are actually finished, so you can see the railroad now stretching all across North Africa, so he has a way to get supply there to the front line, and this could be the moment where he goes on the attack. He's got his pretty good infantry divisions there with the skull symbol, and they're just now pushing across the border.
Yeah, and also, I mean, Mako is the one that needs to do something, because the victory point of Malta is moving the ticking victory towards Pontus. So Mako needs to push here, but he is going to, and the rocket artillery, especially there, is going to be super dangerous for Pontus.
Mako still has 3 victory points, and Pontus only has 2.
Yeah, exactly. So Pontus.
Oh, look at that encirclement, triple A.
Yeah, I mean. This is a really, really fast piece of rocket artillery, this.
Is there any second line of defense here for Pontus? Anything to stop this? No.
Pretty much not, I would say.
Yeah, this could be the end of the game right here.
Yeah, this could be. This is probably game
this
if.
Entire
So we're looking at a first game to Mako here right now, and this very
Indeed
well played,
we do.
I think.
And that is the rocket artillery from the focus that is giving Mako the win here in the first game of the finals.
Yeah, the first pocket was closed pretty quickly, and this is the entire army of Pontus now surrounded and heading towards death.
Yeah, he is trying some Hail Mary naval invasions, but this is it.
This is it.
Yeah, there are no unguarded ports here in the finals. And we should see a surrender here from Pontus any second now. He's hoping maybe that his 2 Marines will be able to, I don't know, cut off and kill the entire... No. Okay,
That's
good
it.
game. Okay, good game. So we're heading to game number 2 straight away.
Indeed, and the first game goes to Mako, and Mako has really been doing impressive performances here. Like, we still have not seen a game where Mako really loses or stands to lose. He has perhaps gotten some division encircled at some point, but dominant showings from Mako here tonight, I would say.
Yeah, and Mako, of course, he's from Spain, and he's been playing with our community for about a year now, I think, and one of our strongest players for sure.
Yeah, indeed, good game, the first one here, and let's see how it pans out, and if Pontus will be able to get revenge on Mako here for the second one. So let's wait for a game ID here, and then we are going to see how the next game pans out.
It's interesting, this format. It's quite different from casting a grand game, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. And I have my battle horn as well.
Let us hear it.
Yeah. Okay, warning headphone users. All right, it doesn't even sound, but I need to take out my snooze. Probably.
Yeah, you can't do that horn with snooze. We ride to Valhalla.
Yeah, indeed. Oh shit, that's sorry neighbors, I guess. I pointed it down to the floor here, and well, I have some Viking memorabilia here actually. I took it out. I took it out because it was fun to see during the game. But I have a sword and a shield.
Ah, that's nice.
All right. I'm gonna put this back in.
But how long have you had those?
Yeah, I actually like I inherited them from my grandfather, but I mean he was very Viking interested, and he had all these things, and he passed away quite some time ago. But the thing is that I have never been able to really collect them because he lived outside of Stockholm, and I mean, I can't really go on a plane or on a train or whatever with a sword and a shield. So I only got them down to Halmstad like half a year ago or something like that. So they're still a new addition to my arsenal, so to speak.
Let's see. Okay, we got a new game ID.
Yep.
Indeed, and I am in the game here.
So that was very well played by Mako. I didn't see that one coming, actually. From a static front line to a total collapse in like a couple of days. That was really well played.
Yeah, let's hope this is the end of the Navy focuses. I think.
Yeah, we'll see.
Where they end up, of course.
Considering the map we are playing now, we do have probably no Navy focus. If I were to guess,
is it decided at this point that it will be here in the Northern Europe?
I'm not really sure. I felt
perhaps
like
it's not
changed up last time.
Yeah, right. It shifted around a bit. Let's see what happens.
The thing is that, like, I mean, the Navy focuses have never really won a game in that sense. I mean, it was Sticky that took Havana and just stayed there, but otherwise, I would say that unless it's a very specific scenario where you can really leverage it, then the Navy focuses does not really give you the edge that you need.
No. Yeah, I mean, when Sticky took Havana or Cuba, he was going for like a tank focuses, and he was meeting Pontus, who had more or less gone for a stronger Navy. So yeah, the Navy so far not very decisive.
Yeah. Also, I mean, if you reach the island first, we did see it this game where the naval invasion almost succeeded from Pontus. But if you just paradrop there and manage to get like 2 regular infantry divisions to just put on the harbor, then you really need to sacrifice your entire focus tree into Navy in order to take that island back, and that's really not worth it in the long run.
These games are too quick. There is no long run. That's why I would say military factions is the way to go. Because if you can't naval raid them down to 0 convoys, you don't have the time.
So. Yeah, I mean, our games are usually very long, like slogfests with like convoy raiding and supply issues, and then eventually something just breaks down. But here it's much more small tactical decisions and small battles that win the days.
Yeah. So we are waiting for them to start the game. Start, question mark?
We have a technical question in the chat here. Let's say one switches non-green rank horse division into a green rank rocket artillery trucks. Would truck stats compensate the lost rank benefit?
Between horses and rocket artillery, I think so. I mean, there are different types of units. I think the rocket artillery, you would need some motorized divisions there to get the organization. So I guess a better comparison would be like leg artillery versus motorized artillery or something. And then I don't know if it's worth it, but just.
I mean, what is the rank benefit? It's like 10% attack, something like that, right?
I don't know. If it's max level, you get a lot, right?
If it's max level, you get.
Our mod is like 50% or something like that.
It's huge, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
So probably it would always be worth it to exchange cavalry to rocket artillery.
Yeah.
Even if you lose the veterancy. So we're seeing them picking sides here. Mako is playing the Axis side, and Pontus will be playing the Allied side this time, as far as it looks like right now. Still waiting for them to start the game.
Marco said that Pontus is out. I'm not really sure where he's out.
Pontus is out.
Right.
Oh, no, we're starting.
So he must be back.
He's in.
This is a historical first. The first time we are more observers than players, actually. So,
true.
We're in the banning phase now. Let's see if it becomes the US Marine Corps and the Luftwaffe ground forces again. They seem to be the most popular picks to ban.
Yeah, we will see here when the bans start to go out. No, we got a ban on the 5th Guards tank army and the Luftwaffe. But we have seen the 5th Guards tank army win a lot of games. Like the game where Mako pretty much steamrolled this entire map, he played the 5th Guards tank army.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and I think this is a really good tank map. This is the lowlands. This is pure plains. You can really steamroll here. So
definitely,
this is a tank map for sure.
Yeah. So the bans are done. No, they get to ban the second faction as well?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think they get 2 bans each. So we'll see. We got the 3rd Shock army. So both...
He does not want to face the Russians.
Both Soviets banned. So no tank Soviet, no Shock army Soviet. So both the ones that Mako has played to great effects are now banned. And we'll see...
Hungarians.
Yeah, Hungarians banned as well. We haven't seen anyone going Hungarians, but if they are tanks, I would imagine it's about the same reasoning.
Yeah. Let's see if we see the same start now. So Mako on the Axis side, will he be going for the industrial focuses straight away?
Let's see. He hasn't picked yet. They are just starting up the game here.
I would think he does that actually. Knowing Mako, I think he realizes or thinks this is a tank rush map. He wants military factories. This won't be a long game or a static front line.
Yeah, Mako is looking to close this out now. He has the match point. He has the tournament point here. If Mako wins here, he gets 250 euros and goes on to represent the honor of Hygge HOI in the final circuit of the tournament. And meanwhile, we have Pontus looking to defend and get revenge for the last game and try to get a deciding 3rd game here in the Hygge HOI qualifier tournament. And I think we saw him try to do that when he banned both of the Soviet armies.
Yeah.
So we see the same start now with Mako going for the industry focus and Pontus going for the faction focus first. Same mistake, I would say.
Yeah, I would say probably industry focus, just pure mathematics seems like to be the better pick. But we have the US forces have not been banned this time because we have seen bans of the United States Marine Corps earlier.
Yeah.
But that is not banned now. But I guess like Marines are not going to be that nice. But I mean, they can perform across rivers. They can perform on the ground, so to speak. And this one is interesting, like division training time, minus 20%, and river crossing speed penalty, minus 25%. There is some focuses in the Marine Corps that could really be leveraged to great effect here on this map, I feel.
Yeah. Let's see what,
we got the information in the chat here as well that the Marine Corps has the nuke.
Ooh.
Okay.
So that's why it has been banned, probably.
Yeah, there you see them.
So once you get this focus, you get 1 nuke. Well, it would be interesting to see a nuke, but I mean, this is on such a micro level. So I wonder if you would win the game by a nuke in this game. Like nukes have won a lot of.
A well-placed nuke, if the enemy has like concentrated tank force and he just obliterate it. Yeah, it would have an effect, but.
Yeah, and this map also we only have 3 victory points. It's straight land game, air game, Amsterdam, Köln, Frankfurt. 3 victory points and a line across the river. So
So looking at the technologies a bit, both are going for a bit of industrial focuses, but Mako is going for the stronger focuses at the moment because Pontus is going anti-tank, but it's not necessarily meeting any tanks. He may be though, so that might show up to be the right thing later on. But
we'll see how it pans out.
Tech-wise, Mako is going for infantry equipment and artillery level 2, which is both of them will be really useful.
And I'll take a quick break before this starts panning out.
Yes. You go ahead and meanwhile looking over at the starting production coming out from let's see, I need to get the players map code. Coming out from Pontus on the allied side here, we have infantry equipment 3 factories, support equipment 3 factories, artillery 3 factories, anti-air 2 and 1 on trucks. And on Mako's side we have infantry equipment all the way, towed arty and support equipment. So about the same build-up as last game, I would say. Mako is going much more into just producing infantry equipments and training a lot of infantry divisions here, as we can see.
Yeah, straight off the bat, just producing 16 infantry divisions. Probably a good idea. And let's see, with this current production, you'll get those out in just half a year or so.
Yeah. And we don't have any production coming out yet from Pontus' side. We'll see now. We have an agency being formed on Pontus' side. We have the agency being formed also on Mako's side. So both are building agencies first. Research is the same. We see they have ticked up the speed to 4 here, and now they have also started the game. So
nice. And we are off.
We are off to the races indeed, and the focuses are starting to tick. The production is starting to go out, and we are soon to see whether Mako will go on and win the prize money and go on to the final circuit, or if Pontus is going to get a third and deciding game.
And I mean, 250 euros might not sound like much, but in Spain, that could buy you a lot of sangrias.
Indeed. In Sweden, it's quite a lot of beers as well, but if you compare to Spain, more in Spain.
Yeah.
Also, it's euros, so if you are going to consume your euros in Sweden, you get more money because the Swedish crown is very weak.
That's true. So bring your euros to Sweden and spend.
Indeed. Production has not changed much. It's the same as before. Looking over at the construction side of things, we see straight military factories from Mako and military factories going out from Pontus as well. Boppus would be very happy to see that. But at this quite straightforward map, I would say that this is going to be the micro war. It's hard to outsmart your opponent on this map. It's micro and
Yeah, at the moment though, we see the same trajectory as last time. Mako is doing the second military factory focus, while Pontus is doing the faction selection focus. So he's just now starting on his industry focuses, while Mako will be finishing out his in just a while.
Yeah, and also the thing is you kind of show your cards as well, because I mean, Pontus, he got USMC first. He gets some doctrine reduction and some army experience, but if Mako gets enough intel, he will just be able to look and see that, okay, he has gone United States Marine Corps. Meanwhile, if Pontus looks over at Mako, he's just going to see, okay, it's all arms industry expansion. So you don't know what he's going to go.
Yeah, exactly. I think Pontus may be a bit overwhelmed now by the Speed 4. He's not been able to choose technologies yet. Too many pop-ups to contend with.
Yeah, he is still saving up the days though, so it doesn't matter just yet. But at some point here, he will start to lose out if he do not pick his research. He has now finished his first industry focus, so I would imagine that he goes into the industry research. Yeah, indeed he does. It's construction, improved machine tools, and infantry equipment, and he picked it just in time, so he didn't lose a single day of research.
Nice.
On the macro by Pontus. Meanwhile, industry research also coming out from Mako here. Not any switches in production, infantry equipment, support equipment, and RT. Meanwhile, we have Pontus still going more towards a diversified production queue here with not as much infantry equipment and those things, and instead support equipment, anti-tank, and so on.
And if you saw, Pontus is not choosing, now he has focus, so he went a couple of days there without a focus. So I think the amount of games are taking out the tolls on the player right now.
Yeah, I would imagine so. It has been somewhat of a long night for these players that have been playing all of the earlier games, but they have a lot of experience to bring with them from those games as well. So
yeah.
I'd like to highlight the fact you just brought up there that Mako he's got 20 factories on infantry equipment right now, while Pontus has only 4, and that will decide the game right there if things do not change. Because you will have 5 times the amount of troops on the line, and no matter how many nice tricks you do, that's too much.
And I mean, Mako really hits the ground running here. Every game we have seen Mako go heavy into infantry equipment straight off the bat, all military industry focuses, and just a meat wall of infantry divisions. Meanwhile, we have seen Pontus, the earlier games, going much more diversified industry, no troops in training yet, and faction focus before industry focus.
And it looks like Mako is going Imperial Japanese military again.
Yes, but this time probably the industry branch, I would imagine. So he's going, infantry branch. So he's going to get 2 large infantry divisions, bicycle divisions, and some soft attack. And this is going to be really big for him, because infantry equipment minus 10% production costs when you hedge so much on your infantry equipment production is going to be very nice.
Yeah, it's really a complementary build to his strategy, it seems like. He's going towed rocket artillery again, so similar build to last game.
Yeah, and also if we look at the front now, we have a much bigger front line of troops from Mako than we have from Pontus, and war is only 96 days away, and still no production here. So he has made a copy here that he's going to start expanding, but I mean, the front line heavily in favor of Mako so far.
If you have a look at the manpower, you can see how much troops are in the field and in training.
We see here we have
compare those numbers.
Yeah, we have an army 295,000 in the field, 116,000 in training for Mako. Meanwhile, we have just 59,000 in the field for Pontus. This is going to hurt a lot if he doesn't get something out.
Yeah, it's just
now,
80 days
basically,
until the war started, I think.
Yeah, he's outnumbered like, I don't know, 7-1.
Yeah, this is looking very bad for Pontus here if he doesn't get this.
To actually train his troops. Sorry for interrupting there, but he has 7.5k infantry equipment.
Yeah.
He has no troops.
He needs to start churning this out. He has renamed it to 15 with now. He is doing stuff with his divisions. So he probably knows that he is not training anything because he is in this screen clicking things. But
he's named it 15 width, but it's still 10 width. He needs to click faster.
It can be the problem. Yes, going to speed 4. I remember the first tournament we played where they have churned out the speed like 1.5 times or something like that. The entire pace of the game was totally wrong. You were saving research, as you always do, and you come back and everything is just full and you have missed everything. And it's a dancing of war before you even
he seems a bit stressed here. He lost a lot of days on the national focus, and now he's going to do little raiders, which gives you a fleet with 2 aircraft carriers and 1 battleship. It seems like entirely the wrong focus here. What's he going to do with the tactical bombers and the 2 aircraft carriers at this point? I don't really know.
Mako lost a few days there of his focus. He was a bit too slow, so maybe he's hurting a bit too on the micro here.
Yeah. I mean, he lost days on his focus, but more to his detriment, I would say it's the wrong focus. the aircraft
Pontus
carriers is not
training
going to
troops
win in
now,
the game.
at least. So 100,000 troops are in training, but I'm not sure they're going to be ready.
I wonder if they will hit the field in time. He will be able to early deploy them, but now he has 116.
But 24 days. Yeah, they should be out just before the war.
He is outnumbered 4-1 now, which is still very bad, but it's not an automatic loss at least. But he will need to rectify this at some point.
They won't be trained, so the training gives you 25% modifier. So he will be either deployed early, but especially not trained.
And also we can see here that Mako went Arisaka focus early, so he got the 10% reduced production costs on infantry equipment. And considering now he has 63, 36 military factories in use here, 38 military factories in use by Pontus. So Pontus has a slight edge in military factories, but the production efficiency increase from Mako's focus technically represents that the deficit, and he has the troops in the field. So looking scary for Pontus by the looks of things, and we have an outbreak of the war in just 24 days.
And you can see they've gone down to speed 3 again. Maybe both of them were like, okay, this is too quick for us. Let's slow down a bit.
Yeah, I think it's totally right. If you're gonna fight a war, you don't want to fight it in speed 4.
Yeah, and I wonder, in the big tournament later, they are going to go speed 4, so it's good to get used to it, I imagine.
Yeah,
okay,
and this is a different game
from during the entire event.
Oh,
are they?
No, I thought that was what Victor said. Oh, I'm getting tired, I think.
No, they are only the preparation.
Yeah, okay, yeah, great. Because fighting in speed 4,
No, that's bad.
Looking at the infantry divisions here again from Mako, we have the Space Marine solution, we have medium tank, 20 combat with, support RT and engineer company. These are dangerous. He has an overstacked army, but
he's doing the Space Marines again. He's got an infantry division where he puts down just one tank.
Yeah,
it's the ones with the skull. So just one medium tank in those divisions makes them a lot harder. They also have the rocket artillery on support, so pretty strong divisions.
I mean, we do see the diversified production of Pontus coming into play here. He has a lot of support companies in his divisions, but this is going to be very dangerous. I would say that the setup heavily favors Mako.
Mako has overstacked his army pretty heavily. He's got 50 divisions on a 24 division general. Is that a tactic to get experience quicker or something that I haven't heard about?
I don't know. So. Probably it's just to get them out to the front, so he can do one order, stabilize.
Yeah, one day until war. And,
one day until the war.
Pontus actually, has not fired Mako, invasion.
Yeah, Mako is actually going carriers through the straits, so Mako is actually also going to get a carrier army. So interesting pick there. And now war has broken out, and we are go for the second game of the finals, and the armies are working their way up to the front. They are going to meet at the river here. We see the first the bicycle army of of Mako meeting with the army of Pontus. They are going to be
Cologne there, Köln.
Yeah,
that's an important supply hub.
We see here last stand being pressed by Mako. He really wants to keep Köln here, as you said, probably for the supply situation, and that actually worked out in his favor. He did hold this little bridgehead, which is very good for Mako. We see a naval invasion though from Pontus here, which did not work out the way he wanted, probably. And Mako has pressed last stand here as well, so there's a lot of last stands for Mako. The Hygge is going to fall to Pontus. He might try for an early encirclement here around Amsterdam, which could be a very good play if he manages to succeed.
Mako has all the victory points right now, so he only needs to hold out, and he will win eventually. But he seems to be on the offensive right now. He's attacking, even though he is winning.
He is not going for a slow game, Mako, at all. He did the last stand to take Köln, so he just kept all the 3 victory points here. From Mako's perspective here, you can see it is green bubbles galore, and Looking at the air situation, yeah, I have the bug, so I can't see. But
if you look at the losses, it's Pontus has twice the losses of Mako right now, even though there haven't been any surrounds or anything. So that kind of gives you an idea of the quality difference in the troops. And Mako is breaking through the middle of Pontus's line here.
Yeah, we are seeing a breakthrough here. And now he's doing a broad front attack here. He is going for the kill instantly here, Mako. Not even microing here. He's just doing a big push with his somewhat overstacked army, but only with one, so that's pretty much no penalty.
If you look a little bit to the south, Pontus don't even have army down here with Freiburg and Colmar.
Yeah, so this is looking heavily in Mako's favor. We have seen dominant performances by Mako all night, and this is looking to be no different. This is very quickly moving towards a convincing 2-0 win for Mako. And
Pontus's only quality troops are his 3 marine divisions, which are now encircled. I'm not sure if they have a port there where they are.
They do not, because the port is in Rotterdam. So
yeah, and they are in trouble right now.
Yeah,
they are indeed in trouble. This is unraveling very quickly for Pontus. As we said during the setup, it was looking very heavily in Mako's favor, but the situation on the battlefield even more so. This is not going to be a long game.
No, Mako is fighting more than 2-1. He has 440,000 units manpower out in field. Pontus had 180,000. Now the difference is even bigger.
Yeah, and at the moment, Mako controls almost all of the neutral territory, so he's just about to move into Pontus' core territory here.
Yeah, which probably will give Pontus some sort of defense bonuses, but I mean, at this point, the game is won in Mako's favor, I would say.
Pontus just got his Amtrak out, so one Amtrak division up there in the north, but look at those Marines now. Yeah, they're dying one by one.
They are dead, and this is over. And
the losses are speaking the story here.
Yeah, convincing performance by Mako, and we will be very proud to have Mako represent us in the tournament Commanders in Conflict later, and we have no doubts that Mako will bring great honor to the Hygge community, because looking at what he has performed tonight in all of his different games, he has not been on the ropes even once, and has performed exceedingly well against a lot of different opponents, and with a lot of different tactics as well. Not only infantry, some tanks, good micro, good macro.
We are seeing the last stand of Pontus here, but he hasn't managed to get a stable front line once this game, so he's just being pushed back slowly but surely towards Paris, which is his capital.
Yeah, and we are going to see a surrender here. I don't think he will click the surrender button, considering it's the last game, but Paris will fall in a short manner of time, I believe. Oh, we do see, though, some revenge on Mako here. Actually, he got a counter-encirclement on Mako here to the south of Calais. Probably will not bring him back in the game.
The loss is really stabilized.
Yeah,
this will not bring him back in the game, but
he will get them out also, at least one of them.
Yeah, he got one out with his last stand. Once again, goes to show the incredible micro play of Mako here. He instantly saw the encirclement, he pressed last stand, he broke them out. Good adaptation to not dire situation, but at least a small ink on the paper, so to speak. But
now we see the last stand of the Amtrak, and there it goes.
Indeed, and there it goes, and
that should be the game.
Yeah, this should be the surrender of the Allies.
Yeah,
I think Pontus is not surrendering. He's fighting to the bitter end.
Yeah,
indeed, he is.
Until he shoots himself in the Paris catacombs.
Yeah, indeed. And as we saw in the chat here, GG Mako now go win for us in the Paradox finals.
Yeah.
You carry the hope of us all, little one.
Indeed. Very well played. Stellar performances throughout the night and very good plays. And we are very much looking forward to see you in the Paradox finals. And that is the game. And
the game is over.
Game is over.
And that concludes the Hygge HOI Gaming leg of this tournament. So if you want to keep watching this tournament, you tune in on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday when Dankus Mimicus and Midgeman will be streaming the finals. And from us here from Hygge Gaming, representing us will be Mako. And we will be there to cheer him on.
Indeed, we will. You will find us in the chat. You will find us analyzing, and you will find us sharing for the Hygge HOI community. Once again, please subscribe, like, watch our guides, support us on Patreon, and do keep Mako in your thoughts during the Paradox finals, where we hope that the Hygge community will do a good performance. Also, a very good showing from Pontus, Sticky, and Ivan. We have seen some very exciting games, some very good plays, but considering what we have seen here today, I would say that Mako is definitely a leg above the rest when it comes to the Commander in Conflict mod, and he will be able to perform well at the Paradox finals. I have no doubts about that.
Yeah,
a worthy winner, no doubt. So thank you so much from us in the studio. This will be us for tonight, and see you again some other time.
Indeed. Thank you.
Bye.
Take care.
Not just a strategy game, it's a grand strategy game.
Alltså ni så kommer Yeah, oh, it's like 30 seconds. That's like 8 divisions, more than that. I mean, it's like... There we have it. CMOX is our champion.